It's Friday, February 6th, 2026. Let's start off as we typically do, if I remember correctly, by reminding you that if you'd like to support our show, you can go to supportourshow.com. And somehow I almost stumbled on go-to.
And why do you support the show? I mean, that's another question. Why support the show?
Well, it's funny you should ask, sir.
Well
done. Thank you for queuing that up. I have a listener email.
Oh, God. Let's be very clear, by the way. Joe and I do not organize this at all. I literally stumble into the virtual room and go, "Okay, are we doing this?"
Yeah. No, organization is not something we indulge in. Okay, I don't know if this was a typo, but this comes from a friend of the show, Ant Pruitt, who I don't think would have any problem with me saying that it came from him. The subject is yoked, which I assume, is that a bodybuilding term or a fitness term? Does yoked mean something to you?
I think it's it can be a...
okay,
yeah,
all right, well then that's probably what that's referring to. I didn't know if that was a typo, so...
Yeah.
You spent half an hour talking about guests like Eddie Hall and Brian Shaw from Strongman versus Bodybuilding. Loved it. That's good, because he is very in shape. I still think the new He-Man is too small to be He-Man. At least it looks that way. Okay. He may be 230 pounds, but he looks like... Hold on, let me finish it.
Yeah.
But he looks like 190 pounds at best.
I'm kind of agreeing with him, yeah.
Yeah, well,
but at the same time, it's like, we'll see what they do with it. Like, it goes both ways. On one hand, you want him to be... Yeah. I mean, you want him to be fucking Arnold. That's He-Man. I mean, honestly, the best He-Man you're ever going to find is Arnold's Conan. I mean, that is...
Yeah, that's the problem.
Is that not the high watermark of just fantasy?
Well, no, I'm pretty sure they based the figure on him. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Yeah, actually, you're right, isn't it?
Literally.
Isn't that what it was? Yeah,
I think so. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Then the accents chatter. I'm a Southerner, and it's fascinating to hear the Carolina accent versus Georgia, Alabama. What was that accent? Or Arkansas. At least I don't say Arkansas. They all sound awesome to me, but definitely different. Still wish I knew Spanish. I'm slowly picking up some of it. Well, I'm a bit ahead of you there, sir. But, not all of us can speak other languages in fuego, as they say. So,
cool.
Yeah.
I wish I knew how to speak
why does anybody
Spanish?
support it? There you go. Me too. I mean, I wish you did as well as me. That's what I'm saying. You'd be able to roll those R's. Caliente. Very, very smoothly.
Oh, so caliente.
See? So
caliente. You know what? I do like that I can speak Spanish with
Poppy.
Oh, God. With an American accent. It doesn't, you know what? It doesn't hurt me because I know that it's a gringa doing it, so it doesn't hurt me.
Poppy.
Yeah, see?
3 of them. I have 3.
Yeah.
3 versions.
You know, it's missing the really gross aspect of it, where you're like, oh, God.
You know what? I will look around.
You're like, I'm gonna go find some Latino women.
I was gonna say, I will find a Latina woman that's doing.
Can you say "I Poppy" into my recorder?
Oh no! I'm sure there's audio of somebody saying it. I as part of a video.
You know what? No. You know what? I'm gonna find you a really disgusting
Latina saying "I Poppy." How? This is gonna take me 2 seconds. Here it is. Oh boy. Oh, there's lots of them on YouTube. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah.
Also, be careful because some of these are clearly trick videos. Oh boy. I Pop. Oh, that's a song. Oh, boy, look at all this. Oh, good grief. Wow. I Poppy es mi mama. I don't know what that means. What does it mean when a Spanish girl calls you Poppy? I think I know. When my Latina wife calls me Poppy.
Jesus Christ.
I Poppy 6.0. There's a 6.0. There's been 6 variations on the phrase.
Just try to deafen me. Sorry.
Whoa. Okay, it just says I Poppy. There's a pair of what looks like 90s cheap Oakleys. Probably rip-offs. And a tricorder. That's
amazingly, new. I can't really find any on YouTube because there's so much trash.
Oh, I can find them. I can help you.
Either way. Yes, I'm always curious why people listen to the show. But I support if you want to support that, then what do they have to do, Joe?
They just go to supportourshow.com, and there they can support us using any of the array of options available. That's a pretty easy one. It's fairly self-explanatory. Amazingly, it's one of the few things I managed to actually get correct where it's easy. And hold on, let's see, supportourshow.com. Wow, that's a lot of spelling errors. Hold on, I don't know what Sepaware out show will do, but I'm not going to hit enter. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Let's try this. Hold on.
Oh yeah, it goes right up. Support our show. Goes to the Ozone Art Foundry. Yep. There you go.
Yeah. There we go. Very nice. Yeah. Oh, the Zazzle store. I gotta fix that. That's just gonna go.
Man,
oh no, there's still items. There's still items there.
My youngest wears a T-shirt of me. It's the weirdest thing.
The Lando is my hero shirt?
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah. It's the weirdest thing. I should wear a shirt.
Is that shirt still available? Hold on.
It's right here. I see it.
Yes, it is. Lando Hero Tee. Mine isn't.
I should wear, yeah, yours should be. You're on my workout log in your white gloves and your
the irony.
I still have.
But I would be on any piece of workout equipment ever.
I still have stickers of you. I think I have 3 left.
I still have stickers. I have 3. Yep.
I didn't tell you this. So
good.
No. This is I was kind of hoping at some point this would come back to you, but it never did. So years ago, when you did those stickers, the where it's just you, right?
Yeah.
I bought about 300 of them.
God, you bought that many? Oof.
Right. And over the years, I stuck them randomly all over the fucking place.
That's great.
And I was always waiting for it to get back to you. And then I got down, I think I had 3 left. And I just kind of got to a point. I was like, okay, 300 is enough. I'm just gonna let this go. And I was always hoping that I don't know, someone would see one and email the show, because I mean they are, dude, they're in London, they're in London.
Oh, that's nice.
They're in the Caribbean. Nice. They're all over the U.S. They're in all, and they're in weird places too. They're in men's bathrooms. They're in some women's bathrooms too.
Oh, good. Good.
And I never heard anything, nothing. No one. It's kind of that weird thing. You're hoping somebody from the show who listens would see it and be like, "Oh my god, I just saw a Joe sticker in the weirdest place." But yeah,
I got you.
So you know what? One day,
you
may encounter yourself. So many years ago too.
It's true of us all, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, you know what? My wife has the T-shirt of me too. That's weird. And I'm always like I look at her and then I look at the shirt and I'm like, that's weird. Yeah. So anyhow, yes, the Zazzle store is still there. Yeah,
it is still there.
It is still there. So if you want to support us,
if you want to use that,
how much money?
I gotta add.
How much money would you have to make to just do this?
Well, to just do this?
Yeah.
If I wanted to get by on the show, no, I would never get bored. In fact, I could do this. I could do a podcast every day, like late night type things and review stuff. I could do that all the time. I would never get bored. There's too much random, because it's not contained. That's the thing that has accidentally saved it.
You interview people, and that's really great. So
yeah, and I can talk about. I'm interested in a lot of things, and I can talk to people about stuff that I have no knowledge of and be fascinated by it. I think that's an important thing.
Yeah, but you're fascinated by it. That's the thing. There's so much interesting shit out there that you want to learn about.
And this is one of the things that a lot of the people who are interviewed often, one thing I've noticed that throws, the few times I've talked to people who are interviewed often, one thing that throws them off is when I say I do no research on them. I don't know anything past the surface level stuff because I don't want to know the answers to the questions. Whereas most interviewers know the answers, so they ask the expected question, get the answer, move on to the next one because it's more of a checkmark process. I don't do that. I want to listen to what someone's saying, and I want to conjure a question partially based on not partially, in many cases, never, there's one time that somebody asked for kind of a general topic list. And I did it because I understood why the person
Well, they were asking you for it, yeah.
Yeah, but otherwise, I generally have nothing in front of me. It's just, I just ask them how to pronounce the name and what website address they want. Other than that, I don't have any questions prepped. I may have ideas. I have the general, I know I want to talk about these 3 things because I've got a person, if this person was a specialist in, railgun technology, I'd want to talk about how a railgun works. Like that would be there. I would certainly have that as part of it.
How interesting a situation it would be to end up in an interview with a railgun specialist.
I mean, honestly, one of the things is if there was ever some kind of scenario that I thought was realistic, I would not mind talking to the person who designed the FNP90. I would love to talk to the person who came up with the design for the Desert Eagle, like stuff like I could do that. And so in that circumstance, I wouldn't expect to be talking about Gumby's influence on their life. I'd be talking about, weapons for a bit. And then it might be interesting to wander off into, well, do you ever have an Oppenheimer moment where you realize that this thing you've created may be responsible for a lot of dead people? Does that ever bother you? Maybe that's why those interviews will never happen because nobody's going to want to hear that. But I would, and depending on the person.
I'm sorry. I just found your "So Nice to See You" shirt.
Oh, yeah. I didn't show you that?
I knew you did the picture. I didn't know that you wrote "So nice to see."
So nice to see you, EWE.
Yes. Sorry. I was testing the support our show links, and then I went to the Friendless shop, and I saw that, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, I like that one.
No, I agree with you.
I know one person has bought that shirt. I know for a fact because they said, when that shirt's available, let me know.
I'm contemplating buying that fucking shirt.
That's good.
I would do that, and I'd do a red and like bread and brown meaty tie dye around it.
Sure.
Real chunky. No, but the thing that those are tough philosophical questions that a lot of people do not want to answer, and they don't want to think about. But yes.
They I would be completely open to somebody saying, no, I don't worry about that because the amount of lives saved offsets whatever, loss of life there might be. I built this as a defense weapon, and that's what they use it for.
Yeah, as long as they were willing to have a conversation. I mean, that's what it is, isn't it? In the end, it's the willingness to have a conversation without judgment.
Yeah. So that's what I mean about... that's why I don't like doing that. I don't like having a bunch of stuff in mind because it could also be that in the course of a conversation, somebody says something weird and I want to follow that instead of going by a list of questions.
Well, yeah, you leave the possibilities.
So that's what I mean about I could do this all the time because there's nothing to become repetitive about it. There's nothing to repeat. So everything is a wide open canvas. And the only thing I truly ever really dread, and it has not happened yet.
Yeah.
There was one person I had a real concern because this person had told me, I don't really do interviews, so are you sure? And let's see. I mean, if it goes south, we can just end it. My response
is, don't think of it as an interview. Think of it as a conversation.
Well, they meant being on a microphone talking. That wasn't their forte. And I said, well, look, you just send me a message. If you don't like it, we'll just stop. And it never comes out. That's another reason I don't often publicize late nights or anything way ahead, or even until I know it's locked in. And even if I'm questionable on that, I won't even say it then. I'll wait till it's done. And that way, if we just hate each other, hey, guess what? You just end the thing and it's over with. And no one ever used to know. I'm not going to throw somebody under the bus. I don't care. But that's what I mean is so how much would it have to be? Okay. Well, of course, prices are like tripling because affordability is a myth. Let me think.
Well, isn't that the thing, right?
Yeah, it's just. Yeah.
I
would say.
I just wonder about that because it's the whole art. Listen, art in this day and age, art and things like this, things that are like kind of weird craft things, whatever. They it's not a grift, but it is a bit of a grift because you have to be willing to, try lots of different things and if it becomes your job. I worry that if this ever became a thing about money, I worry that would kill it a little bit. Because I think part of what makes it what it is the fact that, I only show up here because you're here, and we can say virtually whatever the hell we want.
Well, let me put it. I'll say this.
Yeah.
So, because you're right. There is always a concern when it becomes your primary income, that you do have to start doing things like watching numbers and chasing trends and making sure blah, 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 which I don't ever want to do. So what I would prefer, what would be nice is if it was a decent, ideally, there would be, let's say $5,000 a month. And then I would split that with you. And that would be enough to cover the show costs and improving things. I've been looking unsuccessfully so far. For the late night, I don't like the webcam I have. And I just do not have the ability to buy a DSLR right now to supplement it. Not to mention, I would have to look. I have found such specific irritating issues with a lot of the stuff I've looked into, like the camera I bought that I found I couldn't do the one thing I bought it for, which it says it could do, and returned it. Like stuff like that, where, okay, because the show, I don't care. I'm transparent about cost. The Libsyn subscription is $45 a month. It just went up $5 after like 20 years, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
It's been $40 a month for I can't even tell you how long. And they went up $5. Whatever. That's completely fine. One of the only, if not the only subscription I have no complaints about going up a bit because it's been rock solid. Enough for us because we're not relying on it for an income. And I think it's been down like 4 times in 20 years, whatever. So that's $45. The Zoom subscription, I think, is $22 a month. So that's $70 when you put taxes and whatever into it. What else is monthly? Why am I forgetting something? There's something else that's monthly. So it's probably about $100 a month just to be able to do the show at this level right now.
Yeah.
Everything else, like the Rogue Amoeba stuff, that's one-time purchase. So that's a one-time outlay and it's done. You don't have to no subscription, which is great. I want to try to talk to some of those people. I would actually love to talk to the developers of the software because they're such an outlier in terms of quality and not screwing their customers to the wall backwards with a tub of boiling acid. So I would love to actually have them on and describe their product that way. And I'm sure they'd love that for their PR clip. Outside of that, it's more of the improvement stuff. Would I like to have a better camera for the late night stuff? Sure. Outside, but really, and that's kind of it. So the rest of it would just be to have something coming in for the amount of time we put in. That's really it. So that's what I mean is I would say $5K to split 50-50 would be fine for me. And I wouldn't have no complaints.
I wouldn't.
And yes, that's a lot more than I'm saying I spend a month, but that's accounting for time.
Just so we're clear, I would never take 50% from you for anything that came out of this
I would
show.
Provide 50%.
No, I know that, but I wouldn't take it. I should get no more than like 20% at the most.
All right, then $3,000. Then $3,000.
Because listen, I find a lot of enjoyment showing up. I get something out of being here and discussing things with you.
Sure.
And and you do. I think you do most of the hard work in putting all this together, and this shit happens in my brain anyway. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, but enough talking.
Literally, as we're talking, I'm looking at a 4K webcam, and I've already seen the problem that means I can't get it. Because goddamn it, they all have one problem, and it's because you can't adjust the goddamn depth of focus on it.
Well, I have some other
anyway
silly things.
So that's the answer to your question. That's the long answer to your question. Is that's it, and I would never get bored of it. No, I mean, I can't say I'd never get bored of it. Sure, it could happen, but I haven't gotten bored yet, and we're 20 years in, so.
Yeah, well, I guess there's that, isn't it? If we were going to get bored, we probably would have gotten bored.
You would assume.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, it shifts around, too. That's the other, that's what I mean about, it's the good and the positive negative is the thing that we don't have any type of niche, because it makes it impossible to describe to people, because they say, well, what's your show about? And there is no answer to that. There's no way to answer that outside of you and me bullshitting for 3 hours.
The power
which
of
is an
friendship.
Answer. Well, yeah, okay. Yeah. If I want to sound like I'm going to go hug a tree with a power crystal around my neck, sure, I could say that. But that doesn't mean anything to anybody, really. Power of friendship doesn't mean anything.
I know.
So on that side of it, it's impossible to market because you can't tell anybody what it's about, because it doesn't. It's Bestiality one show, and then it's philosophy debates the next. How do you do that?
Speaking of bestiality, oh my god!
Oh, good. Well, there's the show title. Go ahead.
Jesus, I was going to text you this, and I totally forgot to text it. I found this person, and all they do is they do drawings of centaur women. I just texted it to you, and they did like a goth schoolgirl centaur, and I thought to myself, when does this become bestiality? Like, like if there you go, it came through.
That's interesting.
You're right? So, and this it's a centaur wearing like a short skirt with stockings on their horse legs, who's like looks kind of vaguely like goth Sailor Moon. But I was laughing about it because it was the whole, if centaurs existed, right, would that be bestiality? Because I imagine that the business end of it is on the horse part, not on the human part.
Well, okay, the centaur part is not. What produced the centaur, potentially, yes.
Right.
Unless these are just springing from natural springs in the earth.
No. What I'm saying is, so if you had a relationship with a centaur, it would be considered. It wouldn't be considered bestiality.
Well, hold on. What is the definition? Oh God, here we go, searching for something.
Oh yay, we're putting Joe on a list.
Hold on, let me see. Yeah, no, I don't want to go to bestiality.com. I just need a definition. Okay, let's see. Oh wow, they don't call it bestiality anymore.
What do they call it?
They call it zoophilia.
Wait, hold on. Is that Is that the DSM name for it?
It's zoophilia is a paraphilia in which a person experiences a sexual fixation on non-human animals.
But is it
that? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh no, there's two different things. Here it is. Bestiality instead refers to cross-species sexual activity between humans and non-human animals. Wait a minute. Oh, so. Okay, I don't understand the difference. The fixation versus the activity, two different names.
Hold on.
Okay.
So zoophilia is the term that the DSM uses, right?
Okay.
But here's the thing about
disorder. Is that the idea?
But here's the thing about the DSM, right?
Or classification.
Yeah. It's not zoophilia, to my understanding, until you feel you have a problem with it, and that's the interesting thing about it, because like. You have to a certain degree, feel like you have a problem for it to be a problem. I get it.
What I mean? Yeah. So if you drive by a horse ranch and you just happen to find the horses attractive, but you don't act on it, that's just.
No. Well, it's not a problem, right? But if you owned a horse ranch, right, and you carried on with your horses, and it never became something that anybody knew about. It was just you and your horses. Let's say somehow you knew that your horses wanted to participate, right? So it's like consensual on I mean, whatever. The question is, well, is it a problem? Society frowns upon it, but you yourself have no problem. You're in a situation where it's not an issue.
It frowns upon it now. I'm looking at a depiction from 500 BC of a man 69ing a fawn.
What?
Yeah. A kylix, which is some kind of thing. Depicting
well, I mean, the other thing too is
Silenius having sex with a fawn. Dated after 500.
Yeah, if you get into mythology, yeah, there's all kinds of weird shit. I mean, come on, Zeus.
Oh, and then honestly, you get into the Japanese stuff. Oh my God!
I think that Zeus used to just come up with weird animals he used to just become weird animals just to see if he could still have sex with human women.
Listen, look up an image.
Oh God, here we go.
This will not get you on the list. The Dream of the Fisherman's Wife.
I've seen that. I almost put that on my wall.
I'll bet you did. That's. Let me tell you something. That is putting the subject matter aside.
Yeah, that's
1814. Yes,
that's a Hokusai. That's the same guy who did the Big Wave.
The Wave. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, guy was a talented artist.
I mean, no, I do love that painting because it's a wood print, right? It's a woodcut. It is so. Yeah. It shows that artists have always been kind of perverts. And that's not a bad thing.
All right. So back to your original question before we get into the weeds on this again. So your question on Centaur is, as the Centaur is the product of the bestiality union, that is not bestiality anymore because now it is a humanoid or cross-human animal thing.
Yeah.
So the being itself is already cross-species. Therefore, you are not crossing species because you're just now
interesting.
Mating with that.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Because and I'll give you an example. Let's say that you became involved with a woman, and once the relationship progressed to a certain level where clothing came off, on her back, she had 2 non-functional bird wings that were a natural evolutionary aberration.
Okay.
That's not bestiality. She's a woman with bird wings.
Okay.
Even if they're angel-sized wings, and you just didn't, like Angel used to hide his wings in a backpack. Well, that's not bestiality. He had wings. He was born with wings.
I totally forgot that.
Yeah, he used to hide them so that people, when he was on X Factor, that's how people didn't know.
Somebody got the Dream of the Fisherman's Wife tattooed on their stomach.
That's ballsy.
I'll
give him credit.
Well,
I mean,
oh my God! Somebody else got it on their arm. Holy shit! Okay,
that's not as ballsy because to find it on the stomach,
oh God,
might imply that the belt was about to come off, and that might stop it dead there.
I'm surprised that so many people have this tattooed to their body.
You know what? Actually, let me say something about the tattoo on the stomach. I actually admire that because. Let's say you are in a relationship and they haven't seen that yet, and the clothing's coming off. That's almost like a yield sign. That if you see that,
you got a problem. May not want this is not the relationship for you.
Yeah, you know how it's the whole thing where you must be this tall to ride. It's okay. Do you want to cross under this meridian? Do you want to go further? If not, this will stop you.
You must be this nuts to continue.
Yeah, it's a very effective sexual meridian. You have to decide whether to cross.
A sexual meridian. Look at you with the language. Yeah. Jesus, that should be the title.
It
sexual
is now.
Meridian.
Hold on. There, sexual meridian. That's great. So that tattoo is actually useful. But that's what I would say.
Yeah.
And some people have tails that don't fall off or deform or whatever it is in the womb. Right. So if they had a long tail, that's not that person isn't cross-species. They happen to have an attribute of something else. I would say a centaur is a human being with attributes of a horse.
Yeah.
I mean, that is not bestiality to me. That is, a unique being finding love.
It's a mythological creature.
Yeah.
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 That's all.
There is
unless they what do you call it, polymorphed into a horse, and then it's tougher.
Then it's different, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why mythology is kind of fascinating, because you sit there and you go, oh, you know what? Like, what happens when these species cross over? Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, do you know how the Minotaur came to be, right? The story of
Isn't that a sexual result or something?
Oh, yeah. So basically, is it Midas?
I sort of vaguely remember bits of it.
It's a Greek, so there's a Greek king did not give his favorite his favorite bull to Poseidon. He didn't sacrifice it, right? And Poseidon got really pissed because he was like, "Hey, you motherfucker!" He's like, "You should have sacrificed that bull to me." So then he got annoyed, and he basically made it so that the king's wife became overwhelmed with sexual desire for the bull. So then she went, oh God, who's the name of that? You know, in Greek myth, there's that guy who builds all the weird things. Is it Daedalus? It's not Daedalus. Who is it?
Daedalus is the builder. Icarus is the sun. He's the one who flies too close to the sun.
It's another guy. Who is it?
Prometheus?
No, it's not. He's a Titan.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Either way, so she goes to this. It's Daedalus. There you go. Yeah. So she goes to Daedalus.
Such a bitchin' name.
And Daedalus builds her a cow suit that she can wear so that the bull can make love to her. Right? So basically, she hides herself positioned in a wooden cow so that the bull will copulate with her. At which point she becomes pregnant and gives birth to the Minotaur, which is half bull, half man. And then the king imprisons the Minotaur in it's King Minos. There it is. Minos imprisons him in the labyrinth that Daedalus creates. And then they give the Minotaur sacrifices. Yeah. But that's all, it all starts with somebody having sex with a bull. Yeah.
Whoa.
Anyway,
Whoa, ho, ho.
Yeah.
I was curious in the background because when we were talking about the transformation element, I was reminded of something I was going to point out because I'm reading the original Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, the original book.
Yeah.
The apparently uncensored version, which I think is just allusions to God. I think that's what they considered censorship back then, is you can't say stuff about God, I guess. You can't say a man's trying to be God. That's too much blasphemy. So that's what was censored. And so I was curious because what was considered the most book accurate version of Frankenstein, because certainly the Del Toro one is very different. Even the Branagh one has very different things, and none of them have captured the monster correctly based on my reading of it. And the most accurate one is apparently a Hallmark Channel TV movie, which now I must see. Frankenstein from 2004 with Dan Stevens, Donald Sutherland, and William Hurt. Two-parter.
Oh my God, I think I've seen that.
William Hurt's German accent is unfortunate.
Hallmark?
But it does not play as typical Hallmark fodder and features just about every incident from the text. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, I think I did see this.
I have not seen this.
This is 2004. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. I think they tried to make the Beast pretty. That was one of the biggest problems.
Well, okay, yes. And this is the thing I was thinking about reading which I remember you said that it was slow, which I haven't found it to be slow at all. I found it to be tremendously riveting, the book. And the thing about it is, what I have seen, because there's such a specifically interesting description of the monster's face.
Yeah.
Which I really don't know that I could accurately capture, but it's almost as if it's different strips of malformed meat that morph as he talks and cause people to be aghast at his visage. That seems to be his most monstrous feature, is his face contorting as it forms sound, which is really
honestly, that's like
specific.
watching Predator Badlands. Remember watching their flappy things like wrap itself around?
Yeah, except that's alien, but not repellent the way they describe it, as she describes it in the book.
Yeah.
In the book, he's got yellow eyes and then this massive gooey flesh that just keeps contorting and pulling at itself and mushing together as he speaks. I'm really, really, I'm about 64% or so if the Kindle is accurate.
I think the guy, hold on, I'm trying to figure out who it is who plays the actual Beast. Oh, so Victor Frankenstein is played by the guy who did no, it's not. That's the creature.
Luke Goss is the creature. Sorry, that's what I meant.
Yeah, it's played by Alec Newman, who is the he was Paul Atreides in the Dune miniseries.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I mean Dan Stevens is in this too. Jesus Christ.
I know, young, very young.
Julie Delpy, Donald Sutherland, William Hurt.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I mean, and this is a Hallmark movie?
It's a Hallmark Channel mini two-parter, yeah? That's what it says.
You know what? Hold on. I shouldn't say anything because the Hallmark version of Merlin they did with Sam Neill is like a guilty pleasure of mine.
Yeah, it's not like they were making this into a Hallmark romance film. So,
well, wouldn't that be?
I mean, I would watch it since this one is apparently the most accurate. That's what they said. This is number 1. The Brano one is number 4, and then the Del Toro is number 5. Number 2 is a 1973 film, but the monster looks very normal.
Oh my God! There's a whole
3 hours long. Terror of Frankenstein, 77. Swedish Irish, directed by a Swede. Wow, that might be good. Man.
Oh, you know.
But yeah, that's the thing is, nothing is quite what the book is because
it never is. Never is.
No, but I mean, it's really interesting what specifically gets changed. It's fascinating the changes that different people behind it make. Del Toro makes Frankenstein's father a monster. And so you sort of understand that. But in the book, that is not how it is at all. The father is a doting, warm, caring individual. Not at all a bad person. A very good father.
Yeah, I think Del Toro is probably channeling some of his own issues.
Yeah, and then Del Toro makes the old man in the cottage that the monster's hiding in kindly. And in the book, he is kindly until he realizes what he's talking to, and then they all drive him out. And that's the point where the monster's like, that's it. It's war on humanity or you make me a bride. Because fuck these people. Which is very understandable because no human being has treated him with anything once they saw him or, well, really, it's just saw him.
Well, I mean,
because the blind man, you know.
The story of Frankenstein is about being the other. It's about somebody. It's just two things. It's one person wanting to play God, to be all powerful, and then coming to terms with being the other and realizing that they will never be part of the society that they long to be part of because they are the other. They are,
right. But like I said, that's where it's interesting to see the other adaptations and see what they've changed and why they've changed it.
Yeah.
And that he murders the younger brother because he realizes he's Frankenstein's younger brother. He's like, oh, you're his younger brother? You're dead, and just kills the kid. He strangles him.
It's good that you talked about this. It's good that you're talking about versions because one of the things I wanted to talk about before we got to our movie reviews was a show that I have decided to no longer watch because of...
Ooh.
Yeah, so... you know that I like Longmire, right? I haven't read all the mystery books yet. My wife has read them all. I'm like probably 2/3 of the way through. I like that as a series. For me, it feels like an extension. It's like a mystery novel extension of like westerns. I used to love reading Louis L'Amour. Those were like my little it's like romance novels for other people. I used to love reading Louis L'Amour.
Sure.
And I love reading Longmire. And I remember when they started doing the series, I was kind of apprehensive. And then early on, it was basically Law and Order, except with Longmire as the and I was fine with that. And I enjoy like the first 3 seasons. So is there 6 altogether or is there 5 altogether? Either way, the first 3 seasons of the show, I actually enjoyed it because it was like a police procedural. And I had to come to terms with the fact that the show and the book were very different. In the book, there's a whole supernatural element that is quite interesting, which I think I've told you about before, where like Longmire has hallucinations. There's one of the books where like he may be with a ghost for most of the book. Like, there's weird shit that happens. Whereas the show, that is a terrible noise, by the way, and it totally distracts me.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't turn it on. No, I actually didn't know that's what that button did. Sorry.
That's what she said. So I had to change it because the show is not like that at all. there's no supernatural element to it. There's no hallucinations. It's very, very like seated in the real world. And I even really like the guy they got to play Longmire, who's one of the agents from the Matrix. Like his look is good. He plays it good. But the thing is, in the books, the character was like a cowboy Sherlock Holmes. He was like a was it somebody called him a cowboy poor man Sherlock Holmes. And you're gonna have to lower the volume on that if you want me to keep thinking straight.
My God, I don't know what the hell was that. No, that wasn't intentional either. I don't know why it layered like that. Go on.
So, and I enjoyed that, and the show tried to do that to some extent, right? And the character of Longmire is like this very sort of moral but open-minded guy, and he tries to do the right thing, and he accepts the fact that sometimes there's tough decisions have to be made. I mean, like, he really is in the books just this very good guy. He has a best friend who in the show is played by Lou Diamond Phillips, and the two of them in the books are like fucking thick as thieves. Like, they went to Vietnam together. They're really, really close friends. There's nothing they don't tell each other. They get into all kinds of shit, right? You are going to kill me with these fucking noises tonight.
Sorry. Go ahead. I can't find how I did the bass tone before. So anyway, go ahead.
And so this last season of the show, which is the second to last season, I guess the showrunner decided to shift focus, and I don't know if this is the season that went to Netflix.
That's usually when something like that happens.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
It changes carriers or whatever you want to call it, streamers.
The tone of the show
was it originally?
changed.
It started on.
It was originally on
where?
TBS? No, TBS.
Oh, so it was on a broadcast network.
It was on broadcast television. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it sounds
TBS.
like.
I remember. Either way, so it switched carriers, right? And I think it went to Netflix. And the showrunner completely changed the tone. They made it far like kind of grimier, and there's all this kind of like Native American politics and corruption going on in the background. It gave Lou Diamond Phillips like a lot more to do, which I don't mind, but it suddenly dawned on me that everybody in the show had more interesting things to do, and they had turned Longmire into this kind of like grumpy, obsessive, borderline like racist character.
Uh-oh.
Like, it got to a point where I was like, dude, I like him the least. And I was like, what is going on here? I was like, yeah, I mean,
that
to
bad,
the point of which that the poster on for the show for the last 2 seasons, he's not on it. It's all the secondary characters. Where I was like, what?
They took the main...
Yeah,
they took the namesake of the show off?
Is not on the poster for like the 5th and 6th season. Like, when you're on, I think like we were looking at it on Prime, and when you're looking on Prime, there's like they have like the poster for the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's not on it.
That's quite a change.
Right? And I read that in the last season.
I wonder if that guy's
pissed. But you know what? I would be pissed if they did that to the character. Like, so my wife and I realized we were like right near the end of that of the second to last season, and we realized we weren't enjoying the show. We really were disliking the main character, and we were like, you know what? I was like, rather than go on and ruin our own interpretations of the book and the first 3 seasons of the show that we did actually enjoy quite a bit, we were like, no, you know what? We're done. We're good. We're just gonna end it there.
It got canceled anyway, so.
Well, it got canceled. Yeah. And honestly, I'm not surprised, because this show could have gone on for... I mean, the books have gone on for a while because there are mysteries. He figures them out, and he keeps going. Sure. He's basically like, he's the great detective, right?
Law and Order, Special Western Unit.
Yeah, and the thing is, the guy writing the books, he knows how to give him a sense of humor. He knows how to make him kind of understanding. He knows at one point, I'll give you a great example. In the books, the main character has his wife has passed away from cancer, and he has a single daughter. And he loves her very much, and she's a lawyer, she has a lot of freedom, but he's very concerned about her. And when her husband, dies, like, it kind of stops his world because he's worried about his daughter, right? Whereas in the show, they decided his wife didn't die of cancer; she was murdered because somebody had a grudge against Longmire. And
cancer not interesting enough, I suppose.
And when his daughter kills somebody who attacks a client of hers in self-defense, and she kills the guy in self-defense, Longmire is so focused on catching her boss on criminal charges that he just ignores the fact that his daughter is completely traumatized by having had to murder somebody in self-defense. And I was like, whoa! I was like, that is a totally different character from the book. Where it's like he's leaning in towards his obsession and ignoring his only daughter, whereas like the book version never would have done that. Like it's a completely like left turn from the character. And this was apparently the interpretation they wanted to go with. I read something where like they were like, well, they wanted to dissect the Western sheriff concept, and maybe he wasn't always right, and they wanted to. And I'm like, okay, this is not that show. Like I don't, and this is kind of like the same thing that happened with The Witcher, where it's like they had these books, and Henry Cavill was the reason they were like sticking to them, and it got to a point where basically the showrunner was like, no, we're not going to stick to them, and Henry Cavill was like, well, then I'm fucking out. And then the season came out, and everyone was like, you know what? This is really crappy. Like, why did you take it this direction? Think of it this way, right? And this is where there's always a thing that happens that makes me realize, oh, wait a minute, the people who are working on this don't understand the material they're dealing with, right? And I've said this before. I give you a perfectly good book that people enjoy enough that that people want to put money about making a show. And your first response is to go, you know what? I could do better than this. And I'm sitting there going, if you could do better than this, you would have fucking done it. You would have written a book series that hundreds of thousands of people love, and somebody would have asked to make a show. But you didn't, because you can't. And when you try to make this book better, you invariably make it worse. So if you're a wizard, right? If you have awesome magic ability, right? Why would you learn to fight with a sword? Isn't that beneath you? If you have the ability to like blow people out of a room with a fireball?
It does seem unnecessary.
Yeah, and in the last season they
perhaps a waste of one's time.
There's a league of wizard women, and they basically decide they're all going to learn how to be witchers. And it's like, yeah, but a witcher is a step down. It's basically a warrior who uses magical abilities to fight monsters. It's like, you guys are one big magical ability.
Yeah.
And it's the writers don't have the imagination or don't understand the thing that they're dealing with. And in the same way, I felt like the woman or the man, whatever, I think it was a woman who took over, but it could be either. The people, we'll put it like that, the people who took over Longmire, it's like they'd never read the books. They're like, oh yeah, this is Cowboy Law and Order, and let's take this in a different direction. And it's like, yeah, but now it's not the books at all. Like, you've just completely rewritten your main character. And I know that, you know what? I know that I'm a stickler for this, and that this is like a big pet peeve of mine. You know, when they changed the envoys in Altered Carbon, I was like, you know what? I don't think I can watch this, because it was so fundamental to that character, to me, being that kind of person. And it was like, you know, and they were like, no, you know, we're just going to have him be a rebel. It's fine. And I'm like, you're missing the whole point. And this is what you were saying about how your version of it, like, you know, the version of Frankenstein that you see, you have not seen it yet as a movie. You know? And it's like, my version of Longmire has never been filmed, but I was okay with the show for the first 3 seasons. And then someone else took over and were like, hey, let's do something else completely different that has nothing to fucking do with the books. And it was like, okay, I'm out. You know what? And that's one of those things where it like, you know, when you have like a slow burn where like something bothers you, but then after a while, it like you realize it bothers you a lot. Where you're like, yeah, fuck those people. They ruined Longmire. Right. I was really annoyed about
I understand.
that. So I understand your Frankenstein pain. It's my Longmire pain.
Well, it's like I said, the interesting part is it does tell you what they want to focus on. And where they want it to, because it does make it a much different movie. Like in the example of the Del Toro one, if the father is a wonderful, warm individual, it just makes Frankenstein's behavior in that particular film out of nowhere mania. Whereas making the father basically. He imbues the son with all of his expectation of being a great surgeon and drives him so hard that he makes him into results are all that matters type.
I know, but what's funny is that is kind of, I do like that her version of it basically says, hey, you can do everything right as a parent and still have a kid that comes out and thinks they can be God, you know?
Yes, there's...
Like, It's not Victor's father's fault that Victor does what he does, and to some degree, that's the larger. That's almost the larger question of is like, okay, so then is it Victor's fault that the monster can't get his shit together? Like that, I guess maybe that's the question.
Oh no, without a doubt, the way the book positions it.
Okay, it is.
There
Victor's
is
fault.
Absolutely no ambiguity that it is Victor's fault because what happens is. It's clearly, at least, people, if you've read it and disagree, by all means, my read of it is Victor is so consumed by having unlocked this secret that no one has that he doesn't think past what happens if it works. Because,
I feel a Jeff Goldblum line coming on.
Yes, exactly. But I didn't want to do that because everybody does that. Yes, more of the idea that he doesn't really understand what he's creating. But the whole thing is, can it be done? And everybody says it can't be done. And he stumbles onto what he thinks is the way to do it, does it. And then the minute the thing comes alive, he immediately goes, oh my God, what did I do? And just rejects it and runs from it, which is, of course.
But you know what's fucked up? I'll say this. Why doesn't he immediately kill it? If he's so horrified. Okay,
so because it's huge. It's this huge, strong, tough thing. It's not immortal as it is in the Del Toro version.
So he can't kill it, is what you're saying.
Well, I think his horror, I believe it's 8 feet tall, and it's massively strong and very resistant. Now, this is, I think, what's led to a lot of these cinematic interpretations. The monster says it's hardier against cold than fire, which I think is why you often get mobs with the fire and burning, and that's what he's afraid of. Because the monster says, I'm much better with the cold than the flames, or fire, heat. But either way, he is very resistant. He gets shot and survives, but he's not immortal. He says, he says he's contemplated suicide, but then thought, why should I kill myself? I didn't bring myself into this world. You did. You did this to me. And I tried, because he says, I tried to reach out. If one person, he says something, I'm paraphrasing. He says, if one person had shown me kindness, I would have responded to the world with kindness, yet no one did. Therefore, here's the two options, Victor. You make me the only thing that can understand me and will care for me, because it will be like me, but female.
Yeah.
Or I will destroy everything you ever care about, and I will just kill as many people as I can get my hands on and make humanity suffer for your sins. That's the ultimatum. And astonishingly...
and honestly, that doesn't seem like such a bad thing to be like, okay, well, here you go.
No,
I'll make you,
and this is the other thing about Victor, who he goes back and forth. It's like, motherfucker, do you understand? You've got an out. This thing could kill everyone you know. And then more people, and it's all on you.
And it's all your fault,
Yes, and it's because you didn't just stop and try to make this thing feel the barest caring.
He just wants a girlfriend.
Right. Now, I haven't gotten to what the girlfriend is going to be, I suspect, because I do remember, I think in the Branagh one, I'm trying to remember because I mix them up a little bit, they blame the death of the youngest brother on, I think, one of the women in the household. And I think that's the first one he wants to bring back, and then it ends up being Victor's betrothed. Like, he tears her heart out, right? Doesn't he tear out Helena Bonham Carter's heart? So he has to make her into... I haven't seen the Branagh one in a while. In any event, I'm pretty sure what he's going to bring in as the parts is that woman who was incorrectly executed. Hey, shows it even happened back then. Who was executed incorrectly for killing this young child because she had a picture of him and was in the area. Boy, oh boy, does that sound prescient. But anyway, not getting into that right now. So I think he's going to bring that body, and then Victor's going to object, and then he's going to go crazy. But again, the monster's very reasonable. He just wants somebody not to be horrified of him, as anybody would. And what is also, and there's no way, I shouldn't say no way, this would be difficult to do in a movie without people becoming bored.
Yeah.
But one thing the book does that none of the movies have really ever captured the way the book does, and it's probably just not possible really, or it's got to be done inventively, is almost 13th Warrior style, how the monster begins to comprehend language as a thing and then reading. And the way they frame it, it's such a weird, convoluted story of what goes on in this little cottage. I don't think I haven't seen anything that does all this, where the people in the cottage are poor because they did live in France, and then the father was in jail for embezzlement or something, and there was also a Turkish individual in prison whose daughter he promised to the son of the blind man, and then didn't want the daughter to marry a white guy, so screws them over. Then they end up in this little cottage, and then the Turkish daughter shows up because she wanted to get into Christianity and away from whatever religion they were, which they don't specify, so I don't know what it was specifically supposed to be. But she shows up, and in the course of being taught, because she can't speak any whatever language they're speaking, in the course of being taught that, he learns the language by listening to the lessons for the Turkish magnate's daughter. But it takes a while, and the way it's described, it's very interesting to read. I don't know how you necessarily do it.
Well, you can't.
You'd have to do it really compressed. You'd have to do it really quickly, like montage type thing.
Work in a book, but they won't necessarily work.
But it's great. It's great how the monster learns to talk and to read. It's all because they're teaching essentially another being who has no frame of reference for the language how to speak and how to read. It's great. That's what I mean about I like it a lot. But the differences are what kind of they enlighten what the filmmaker or the writer specifically, or if it's the same case, whatever, wanted to make the kind of driving thing. And so many times they make Victor this egomaniac type, or, that almost, like I said, the one that they did for the Del Toro one, it's a byproduct of his father's abuse. And it was abuse. They don't call it that, but that's what it was. Yeah, but that's what drives him.
But that's what Del Toro brings to it.
Yes.
That's what he sees. I mean, a lot of this interpretation is basically you seeing things through the filter of whatever it is that makes you you.
Yeah.
And exactly. Del Toro does this. I mean, his version of Hellboy is not Hellboy. It's Del Toro's version of Hellboy.
Right. Where, again, it's a major father figure thing. I guess that's his thing. Like Spielberg, he's got a father figure
I was going to say, he's kind of like Spielberg in that respect.
He is. Spielberg's fathers always leave. Del Toro's fathers are always either hugely influential, good or bad. But, again, in this, it's more of Victor's consumption with verifying that what he thinks he's discovered is correct. And then immediately turning on it and going, oh my God, what have I done? And it also is framed like the Del Toro one, where there's a whole segment where it's Victor telling the story, and then he's recounting, instead of the monster showing up as it does in the movie, the Del Toro movie, Instead, Victor says, the monster found me, and then he told me his tale. So it's the same idea, but Victor is recounting all of it back to the captain of the ship. And as far as I know, in the original, I think the monster dies. So the monster does not live. I think the monster goes out onto an ice drift and dies or something like that. I haven't gotten to it yet, but I'm enjoying the hell out of it because it is interesting, the differences. But that's what made me think, okay, has anybody really done this adaptation where it's like this? So I'm curious to watch that two-parter one just to see what they've retained.
That's why every time someone does another version of something, it's kind of like, yeah, it's okay to keep doing versions of it because everyone's version is always going. And like they're doing, HBO is doing a whole Harry Potter series, and everyone's like, oh, why would they do that? It's going to be different. It's going to be different because whoever's writing those scripts is going to focus on different shit, and different shit is going to come out, and it's going to look different. It's going to feel different.
Yeah,
so it's that's the nature of the beast.
Sure.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I am. I remember when I read Dracula, the Bram Stoker's Dracula, I was taken with how fragile Dracula seemed. Because, like, when you watch Bram Stoker's Dracula, which has gone through the filter of what's his name? Oh, God, who was the guy?
Francis Ford Coppola?
Francis Coppola. Yeah, it's gone through the filter of him. And his vision of Dracula is like this intense monster, right? But in the books, at one point, I mean, fucking Harker, like, stabs him with a Gurkha and nearly fucking kills him. Like, he has powers, but he's not, like, it's almost like his it's not knowing what he is that gives him the upper hand. The second you know what he is, he has a problem.
He's not as specifically immortal as he is in many of the adaptations, where it's like, only if you do this can you actually do anything to him. Yeah. He's it's more like, general purpose.
I mean, he has a genuine... there's kind of a genuine sense of worry that he might actually get killed in the books, Yeah. Whereas in the movie, they got to work for it quite a bit. I mean, what would make the argument that if she hadn't done it in the end, would he not have died? Because she's the one that finally does it to him, or does she do it to him because they would have caught him? Like, it's kind of the questions. Yeah, but either way, I remember when I read the book, I was like, oh, this is not the monster that that people should have necessarily worried so much about. Do you know what I mean? Like, it felt like, you know what? Actually, this seems very killable.
And that's the same thing with the creature in Frankenstein's. Geez, if one person had just maybe looked beyond his face.
I find it very... I mean, it needed to be what it was for the nature of the book. But I have to believe... Listen, serial killers have a fan club. So...
Oh, sure, of course.
I have to believe that that someone, given time, someone would have been like, hey there, big boy. You know what I mean? Like, it just... Yeah. He just wasn't... He just didn't have access to them.
Right.
Sadly.
Yeah.
And...
in that way, I prefer Del Toro's version of it, where the old man is killed by wolves, but was actually kind to him. It's nicer. But again, it can't work with the books, because in the books he says, if one person had been kind to me, and in Del Toro's version, somebody was kind, and then wolves killed them, and that was Well, and also it's the only is the only way that Victor will make another one, because Victor has basically sworn off ever. I mean, there is one little thing in the book where I think, okay, wait a minute. Which is, he just tries to forget about him as if he's not going to be running around out there. He's like, I did the best to put it out of my mind. It's like, wait a second, man. You've created a hulking, like, death machine. And you're just going to try to forget about it for a year? That's not going to work, man. It's just not going to work.
I'm just going to not think about it, and then there won't be a monster anymore, okay?
Right. Yeah. That's kind of what happens. And then the monster shows up, and he's like, oh, shit. It's like, yeah. No shit.
Bitch, I'm still here.
Yes, it does not work that way. He's tough enough. He's going to show back up. So, yeah. So I am curious what the book ends like now, because I'm sure it's not going to be vastly different, but I am curious where it's going to go. So we'll see.
Well,
I shall report back.
I have a movie I want to talk about, but I want to talk about one other thing first, because I discovered something really weird and I wanted to share it, because I don't think I shared it before. Did I talk about a website called Rebrickable?
Is that not one of the ones we talked about when we were? You talk about it again. I don't care if you did. Talk about it again. I don't care.
It's basically the company that shows you other things you can build, that you can build with kits. So basically, Lego puts out all these kits, whatever. But there are these people who figure out how to make other things with the kits, and they have a thing on the search engine that if you plug in the ID number of the kits that you have, it'll tell you all the things, alternate builds you can make, right? And there's actually some really cool shit on this site where people will take two little kits and they'll make some other ship, or they'll make variations on ships. All the Star Trek ships are in here, and the cool thing is they give you instructions. So some people will sell their instructions for $5. Some people will give the instructions away for free. But they tell, and then through the website you can look at all the parts that you need. So they give you a parts list. You can even click through the parts list to figure out where you can buy them from, because there's a lot of different places that actually just sell specific Lego parts. And it's really neat because you can you can build weird shit. If you so desire. There's a lot of people, Coop loves his buildings, and these people have all kinds of buildings. I know that you build some things.
Yeah, not as much as him, that's for sure. Jeez.
Well, yeah, but it's neat, this idea. People are building Gundam, and they're building buildings, and they're building, like I said, all kinds of alternate builds. Somebody built a better Rivendell.
There's Mohawk pasture. Or Stripe. I always called him from what do you call it?
Oh yeah, Mohawk. Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Mohawk.
Yeah, I mean, if you just you're looking at the front page. Yeah, so there you go. There's F1 race cars. There's better versions of the Transformers. There's the USS Athena.
Well, and that's the real value of some of these. Is some of the Lego builds are not great.
Yeah, well,
they're fine, but in other words, people have made better versions than Lego did as far as some of the stuff.
Yeah, Lego sometimes sometimes they're kind of lazy about it.
Yeah, I don't like their Enterprise D as much as some people do, and I see there's replacement parts for that to fix the parts.
Oh, for the neck, yeah. Like. So what is the Athena? Yeah. Oh, that's from Starfleet Academy. That's a new show.
Yeah, that's from the new show. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, I haven't seen this ship. This is a weird ship. It's like they flattened the Enterprise.
Yeah, not the.
I haven't seen the show at all, so I'm withholding judgment.
Doesn't sound great.
I know there's people who've stepped up and said they've ruined Star Trek, but you know what? They've said that before, and maybe maybe much like Discovery, it'll be and actually in fucking Next Gen, it'll be a weak first season. And then it'll get good.
I agree. That's why I'm I'm not going to go by the first episodes of the first 5 episodes mean nothing to me. I just don't care. You got to go past that and let's see where it ends up.
But either way,
because they could always do a huge surprise at the end too. People underestimate that they could do.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's a Ghost Rider. Look at that. It's called Sit on It.
Yeah. So I do appreciate this site because if you've I have buckets of fucking Legos from my kids when they were little, just kind of sitting around. And it's one of these things where you can get a plan to build any kind of weird shit you might want to build, and it's fun as a pastime, otherwise, there's the Miranda class starship, the Federation Starfleet. Is that Sulu's ship? Was he in a Miranda?
No, come on. Sulu's ship is the Excelsior.
Yeah, but what class was the Excelsior?
I believe it is the Excelsior class. I believe it was next. Okay. It was the next one over the, what do you call it? Constellation? Hold on. It was.
I don't remember.
It is an Excelsior class. That is the class as well as the ship.
So then the Miranda must be the smaller one to that.
The Miranda is it's a Miranda class cruiser. It's a medium cruiser.
There you go.
So there you go.
People keep adding shit to here, so there's all kinds of stuff. And it was a resource that I had never encountered.
Oh, that's the what do you call it? That's the Defiant from Star Trek 2. That's Miranda.
Oh, there you go.
That's what it is. It looks familiar. That's what.
I mean, there's a really nice bird of prey on here too.
Do you love a good
Oh no,
bird
that's
of
not a
prey?
bird of prey. That's the. Is that the
Oh no, you're talking about the Romulan, the
yeah,
Warbird.
that's the Romulan ship. Yeah, the green one.
Yeah,
that's a cool ship.
Those are good too, but not as good as bird of prey.
So either way, if you're the Romulan Warbird. So if you're looking
don't send email, you will lose. Bird of prey better. Go on.
Then the Warbird.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the bird of prey is way cooler than the Warbird.
The bird of prey is the best one they ever came up with villain wise.
I mean, as far as
period
go in Star Trek, it is one of the coolest.
Yeah, Star Trek. Yeah, Star Trek.
I mean,
it's the best villain ship in Star Trek.
Really, you think it's the best villain ship? I think it's one of the best ships. Period.
Oh no, I agree, but you can I'm saying villain ship because there is no debate on that side for me. Like, you're not going to ever win that debate. There is nothing that's going to beat it. As far as have any of their ships, no. The best ship they ever made was the Excelsior. I love the Excelsior above all. The Excelsior is top tier. That's the best one. It's just 80s enough, and it's got that sleek kind of body to it. No, I like it. If it's between the Bird of Prey and the Excelsior, it's the Excelsior. That's my argument. But
yeah,
it's arguable. Whereas on the villain side, bullshit. None of them are as good as the Bird of Prey. And I'm talking about, because I know that there was another Bird of Prey. I'm talking about the one from the classic movies.
Yeah, the ones the drop down wings,
the one that the one where the wings come up and go down. Yeah, the one from like 4 and 3 and 6. There's a reason they brought it back for 6. They called it old, but 7 generations. Even though it was older, they still knew it was the coolest looking one, so they brought it back. And they had the Lursa sisters on there, or Duras sisters, I mean.
So yeah, if you're looking to do some weird shit and you've got Legos, or if you just want to look for weird shit and then have them tell you, how to build it. I mean, they've got Helldiver mechs on here, and they've got,
I like the burning red Millennium Falcon. That's a very specific build for somebody.
Oh yeah, that's
Ferranium.
But that's based off of a race car kit, I think is what it is.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, if you look at it, it's a race car kit that Lego sells, and you can build this other thing with it. Like, that's actually one of the things I think is really neat. Some of these are alternate ships.
They recontextualize.
That then someone figured out how to build it into something, to me, cooler.
Oh, they've got the Nuka girl.
Yeah, she's here. Yeah.
Right,
yeah,
sure.
so I just thought this was a neat resource. And I think what makes it neat is the fact they tell you exactly what the parts are, that there are plans that are free, there are some plans you have to pay for, and then they give you the parts. They show you,
You can also see some people have specific kinks in here. New Mrs. Claus is all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Got it. No, I understand where you want your cookies and milk dunked. I got it. It's fine. I'm just saying, let's not pretend that's not something. I'm with you. It's okay.
A kink is a strong word. I mean, it's not that sexy of a design.
I don't know. It's got enough of a overall look.
You know what? You just gave me a bad idea, and now I have to look it up, and I've never looked it up before.
What, are you going to look up Sexy Mrs. Claus?
Yeah, no. Okay, let's be very clear. I've looked that up before. No, I'm looking up Lego kink.
Oh God.
Because I can't not, because you've put it in my mind. Oh my God, there's naked Lego people having sex on the beach.
See?
Why does that Lego person have a penis?
You see what I'm saying?
What the hell is that?
How could you ever doubt it?
Oh my!
How could you ever doubt it?
God, there is some wacky shit out there.
How could you ever doubt it?
Well, every time I think that we're weird enough,
infinite capacity for kink.
We get weirder. Mm-hmm. We get weirder.
Yeah.
So anyway, Rebrickable is a cool site, and you should check it out. Other than that, I saw a movie, and I wanted to share it with you. Let's not think of this as a big review. Just think of it as me sharing a movie with you. Sure. Did you see the trailers by chance of a movie called The Wrecking Crew?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, how was it?
I watched that with my son and my wife. And
okay, hold on. Let me guess. Your son enjoyed it, and that was it.
Oh no, we all enjoyed it.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah, we all enjoyed it. It's not a good movie per se, but it's not a bad movie either. Here's the thing, and this is why I want to bring it up. Jason Momoa is at a strange place in his career because he I want
to say this before you go on. Yeah. I like both of these people, so I'm glad it's not shit.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Jason Momoa can really only be Jason Momoa. But if you like Jason Momoa, then you enjoy him, right? So I've
liked versions of him. So.
This is a very Jason. Honestly, he's playing Lobo. He's just playing fucking Lobo again. He's a human cop, and then Dave Bautista.
Is he though? Well, is he human? Is he just...
No, not really. I mean, with the fight sequence.
There you go. Thank you. That's where I was going.
But like Dave Bautista and him play brothers who had like a really shitty dad. They're half brothers. They have like a bad past. Both of them are trying really hard for there to be a dramatic element to it. But really, what this is, it's like the guy who wrote the Deadpool movie was like, let's do a movie where everybody curses and talks a lot of shit, but it takes place in Hawaii.
Good to great. So
I
that's
enjoyed
positive.
It. Bautista and Momoa have like really good chemistry together. Like they start out that they basically are like hateful brothers early on, but then they basically like they just talk a lot of shit. And they're dealing with like the Yakuza, and I watched this and I thought to myself, you know what? I would watch a sequel to this. And it's almost like they've tapped into that like Fast and the Furious vibe where it's like, you know what? You don't need to think that hard about this because it doesn't work if you think that hard about this. I mean, just the beating that Dave Bautista and Jason Momoa give each other halfway through this movie would have killed most men. In fact, at one point, I really did think he was going to like put him in the hospital. And the thing is, Batista's got the white beard and he plays the older brother, and he is allowed to be dramatic but also to be funny in this. He has some ridiculous fights of his own. Like there's an element. It plays with being serious, but then it like kind of backs away. It plays with being outright a comedy, but then it backs away. But if nothing else, so Morena Baccarin? Is that how you pronounce her name? From Firefly. What's her name?
I know who you mean. I have no idea if you're pronouncing it right.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about. The
Baccarat is the game, so sure.
I know the concubine from Firefly.
Yeah, no. I know. All you have to say is her name and from Firefly, and anybody who knows who she is will know who she is. Anybody who doesn't.
Morena Baccarin. Yeah, so she plays.
Baccarin, Klingon.
She plays
I don't know.
Jason Momoa's girlfriend in this. And she's not in a lot of it. She shows up kind of late in the movie, right? But she has got such a mouth on her, and she kind of like puts him in his place so hard. And there's a really great action sequence in a minivan on a highway, which is absurd. It's like Fast and the Furious level absurd. They literally rip someone's arm off the socket, right? It is that level of just silliness. But she's got such a mouth on her, and it was so enjoyable to see her in that kind of role that you kind of got a little bit of it in Deadpool, but you didn't really like have her go outright, right? That like there is a show where she plays a sheriff, and I actually said to my wife, I was like, you know what? Now that I've seen her in this movie, I'm willing to check out her sheriff show to see if she's got the same mouth she's got in this. Like, I really enjoyed her. I enjoyed a lot of this movie. There's a silly fight between Dave Bautista and a Yakuza boss that's absurd. I mean, yeah, there's just a running absurdity. Do you know the best friend from Spider-Man? What's his name? He's got like he's fucking bald.
You mean Dave Franco?
No. In the new one.
Nope, don't know the name.
God, he has this friend who's like the nerdy kind of heavyweight kid.
I know who you mean. I have no idea what the actor's name is.
He's in this movie basically as like an assistant to the guys. But at one point they have him doing parkour. And it's amazing to see somebody who's like kind of a hefty guy, like doing good parkour.
Oh, that's like the guy who plays Guillermo in What We Do in the Shadows when they started giving him fight training and let him start doing action scenes.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, it's great watching him kick the shit out of vampires. So, no, I oddly really enjoyed it. Like, I was going in thinking it was just going to be like a... My worry was that it would be a bad movie. That it would be like just a bad action movie, right? But, I mean... The plot, the are there plot holes? Absolutely. Do these two men, should they be in prison at the end of this movie? Absolutely. For the body count alone, right? But I got, you know what? I got really weird Lethal Weapon vibes. Like, and not later Lethal Weapon, but like early Lethal Weapon. You know, where like Dave Bautista is Danny Glover, and Jason Momoa is Mel Gibson. And rather than being partners put together, they're like half brothers that have come together for, you know, like even at times the music, like, who directed it? Either way, if you're looking for a low thought process, funny action movie that's got an immense potty mouth and goes a little too far some of the time, I would suggest watching this movie. It's not going to change your life, but it'll be, you know, whatever, 2 hours of wisecracking action amusement. And listen, Jason Momoa, I guess he must have been training to be Lobo, because he looks great in this. Remember we were talking when he did the second Aquaman? He like never took his shirt off. Like he was always covered up. In this, he has a nude fight sequence. And honestly, that's the other thing too, is whoever they got to do the choreography for this had a lot of fun. So like, I honestly, you can probably find that on YouTube. He has an action sequence where he fights 3 Yakuza guys in the nude in his house. And he's basically like distraught because his girlfriend left him. And there is a comedy to the character. Like it's almost like this is why I think he's playing Lobo. It's like he's playing a violent clown who is pretty sure that no one can kill him. That is the way that Jason Momoa presents himself. It's almost like he knows he's in a movie and he's got plot armor. But it's a great action sequence. I actually really liked it. I liked it. I was surprised at some of the things they did, and otherwise I was like, yeah, you know what? That was an enjoyable and probably forgettable but enjoyable 2 hours of my life. And I like Dave Bautista. You know, I always want to support Dave Bautista, and I like Jason Momoa, and wow, Morena Baccarat is 46. That's funny. She's the same age as me. Oh, she looks way better than me. So, whether you'll enjoy it, I have no idea. But you like Jason Momoa and you like Dave Bautista.
I do, but I this is something I would never watch.
Really? Because you watched Army of the Dead.
Okay, we watched that. Oh, you mean the Netflix thing?
No, the one, the one where they go to Vegas. You watched that?
Yeah, that was more of a curiosity on what Zack Snyder would do with zombies.
Oh, that's true. Honestly. Yeah.
Whereas, but not because I think this is bad, but there would always be something I would pick over this. That's what I mean.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing.
Just always
is that I mean, this is a.
That's me though.
This is. I know. This
I can't be held to a normal standard.
Oh, I know that, but like this, you know. I could see my wife going back and watching this again as like a comfort, stupid, like action movie. Yeah. You know, like it's that kind of thing. Like I said to somebody asked me about it, and I said it was like somebody tried to make Hobbs and Shaw, but without Idris Elba as the villain.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
You know,
yeah,
that's what it was like, and I liked Hobbs and Shaw. I thought it was absurdly over the top. You know,
sure.
Side shot off from Fast and the Furious. So, yes, if you like dumb action movies, watch Wrecking Crew. It's fun. I mean, it's free. That helps too. If you have Prime, it's free. Don't pay for it. Maybe that's what it is. That's what it comes down to now, isn't it? Movies that you'll actually pay for, and movies that are good to watch if they're free.
Yeah.
You know what?
It is a part of it. Let's put it that way.
I would have paid $5 to watch this movie, and I wouldn't have been upset.
Then there you go. That's good.
Because you know what? And listen, you want a really good review? We watched Predator Badlands together, right? And I still paid for it to watch it with my family because I wanted to support the fucking director.
Well, that's good.
And I guess that's, listen, at the end of the day, money talks. So it's like, okay, well, there are some movies that you're willing to spend money on. That's really what it comes down to, isn't it? You always say that, too. When we get to the end of the night, when we review movies, you're like, oh, by the way, all these movies are free to watch. So, it costs you nothing. But it is a question of how much does a movie have to cost where you regret having seen it?
Well, I don't think... Ooh, that's it. I don't think it's a money thing. Don't get me wrong. I don't think anybody should spend. All right, in general, unless there's a specific reason, meaning it's a benefit for something you believe in or some specific circumstance, or it has a ton of extras, I would not ever pay more than $20 for a non-physical version of a movie. That would be my limit. Over $20. I would want to have a physical edition of it.
Got it.
So, and that's just because $20 is basically the new release price. And I've paid that and been fine with it.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of people, it's probably less than that. But.
Yeah.
That would be mine. That would be me. I would say $20 for me. After that, you got to have more than just a movie.
This was an easy $5 movie for me. As far as I was concerned.
Yeah, honestly, 5 to 10 is probably for most people their range, and I think that's reasonable for a rental.
I'm trying to think.
But yeah, I would say 20.
Movies,
20 would be the top end.
Because you know what? Was it? I used to own it. I don't have it anymore, but I used to have what do you call it? The really good copy of Seven Samurai.
Oh, the Criterion one?
Yeah, which was like $40 or something like that version.
Oh, I still have that. I still have my Criterion version.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that was a really nice version of that movie to own.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's beautiful. It's like a big box set.
Yeah, so it's like, but outside of physical movies, it's a question of how much will you pay for that experience? How much is that experience worth to you? Right. Wrecking Crew is worth $5 to me. Sure. Predator Badlands was worth $20.
If you had paid $20, would you have felt like you paid too much?
Yeah, I would have.
Okay.
I would have been like, I should have waited till it was free.
See?
Not that it was bad.
And that's why I think 20 is a reasonable roof for most people, because once you get past 20, you're paying some money.
But like we said, I'm trying to think of something we watched recently. Let's see. I should do this by date.
We've watched a lot of stuff recently.
Well, that's wrong. That's writing wrongs. Like New York Ninja. I would have been upset paying for any price for New York Ninja. Whereas, you know what? I was so surprised at how good Neon Maniac was. I would have paid $5 to see that, and I would have laughed it off.
So Miami Golem would have been an easy $5.
I know for you, yeah.
New York Ninja, I would have paid $10 because I would want to support the effort that they put into it, if nothing else. It's worth it for holy crap, guys.
Planet of the Vampires, I would have paid $5 to see that. That is a beautiful historical sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
Let's see, Dreaming the Reality, I would have paid $5.
Miami Golem 5, Neo Maniacs 10.
Yeah.
I would have been there 10 because it looks so good.
It's weird putting a numerical value, but in my head, it's like, how much would you pay to see this movie? And like, imagine if...
It's easy. The way I look at it is this movie worth more than a cup of coffee at a wherever?
Yeah. And also,
Pete's,
how much do you...
Starbucks, whatever.
I understand that a lot of us do not have the money right now to spend on shit like this, right? I get it.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a question of, if you had the money, how much money would you pay to support the experience? Do you know what I mean? To basically support that director, to support that class of movie making.
And that's why I say I would pay 10 for New York Ninja, because they did that work. And I'm like, okay, that's a lot of effort. Even if the movie itself has some problems.
Yeah, I know. You and I differ
more
on
than
that
some.
movie.
Yeah, but the fact that those people put that effort in, you said, well, if they did one that was worth the effort, it would be better. Okay, well, I want to support them putting the effort into something else. Therefore, I'll pay for this one to say, okay, whether the movie itself is generally recommendable is kind of besides the point. This was a tremendous technical achievement. Therefore, I'd like to support that.
Right, and I acknowledge that.
Yeah, that's why. Not because I actually would tell most people it's worth $10. As a movie, it's not worth $10.
As a project, you're supporting
as a result, it's worth $10. So that's kind of where, if you have really good service at a restaurant, you bump above the minimum to tell that person, hey, what you did, this is not normally what I would give people.
What you did was so
you did a
good.
great thing, so yes. So you bump it up. Yeah. That's the idea of $10 from New York Ninja. Is it a $10 movie? No. But is it a $10 effort? Yes.
I would have paid.
That's a trickier answer.
I would have paid. Oh, fuck this. I'd pay $100 for the full version of Wolfen.
Oh, sure.
You know what? I'll go further than that. I'd pay several $100s. I would, to have the ability to watch the full version of that movie. I
would. Okay. This is going to be a much different answer than you. I would pay $50 to get an edition of New York Ninja that has all the footage. I want to see all of it.
All the shit that they had.
Yeah, I want to see what because I think it would be fascinating. I'd probably recut a version myself that made no more sense than the one that they did. I'd be like doing the voices. I mean, I would do it. So that would be worth it.
I want them to sell a kit that lets me make my own movie.
Yes. No. All I need is the footage. It's got no sound. I can do everything else. We've got Snedecor on deck, and then you and I can do the voices. Including the women. I don't care. I can punch myself in the nuts a couple times. It'll work.
Oh, man.
Why not?
Yeah, I think
But yes, I agree. Wolfen, I would pay a lot if they had the whole thing.
Just to see that, yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I think it's my only white whale out there at this point when it comes to movies. That's the one thing that I would love to see the full version of that. Like nothing else really lures me, you know.
I agree.
Well, if you have nothing else, you might as well cue the music.
Thanks for killing my mom.
See white girls born.
You can eat shit and die, Colonel.
Just give me the essence of the thing, the juice, you know.
The juice. Give me the juice.
So we did something a little different for this week. We did not. Well, I guess in a sense we did watch 3 different films.
Well, we
because
did.
They were very different.
Yeah, we did.
And yet, it was more of a mini-series, I guess would be the proper way to say it. A mini-series, if helmed by... It's the opposite of Devs, which was a single vision controlled by one person that looks uniform throughout. We watched a mini-series that looks like they kept handing it to random people who had completely different approaches, which is more or less true.
They are. It's all one story, but it is 3 movies, and each movie has a completely different look, vibe, feel, like everything.
Well, okay, so there's a backstory which will explain this. So what we're talking about is an OVA, which is an animated series, Japanese animated series from 1985, titled Megazone 2-3. Not Megazone 23, Megazone 2-3, even though I often just call it Megazone 23. But the film refers to it as Megazone 2-3. This was a series that was initially pitched as a 12-episode TV series. And then some of the backers pulled out, and it was reconfigured because parts of it had already been produced. It was reconfigured into initially what was meant to be a single film, which is Megazone 2-3 Part 1. And then it was so popular that they greenlit an additional 2 parts. But the creators involved changed, and the style and everything else, in those other 2 parts. So when you watch Part 1, and the most jarring difference is Part 1 to 2.
Let's talk about the animation, yeah.
Yes.
Before we get
so
into
basically,
the story.
Each one has a different style, but the biggest shift, which will make your eyeballs spin a couple times, is when you go from part 1 to part 2, where you almost at first might think you're watching the wrong thing. Because part 1 is a very kind of classic mid-'80s, early '80s Ranma 1/2 style with big poofy hair and almost like chibi cutesy designs where it almost looks comedic or younger aiming.
Yeah, I mean they've got the big hair and they've got the green hair and it looks like
there's a cat making goofy faces when it jumps around, like it's the whole thing.
It almost looks like Ranma 1/2, yeah.
Right. Then you get to part 2 and it looks like Macross. It shoots into, or Ninja Scroll. It shoots into a very adult-looking version.
It is so
highly
sharp.
detailed.
Very detailed, yeah. And apparently the people who produced the second movie were also working on the opening they were working on Thundercats and Silverhawks, which if you don't know who those shows are...
very product placed.
Yeah. There's 2 pinballs in the movie that are... There's a Thundercats pinball and a Silverhawks, right? Mm-hmm. And it is... If you watch the intro to Thundercats, you will see a distinct similarity between... Because the opening for that show looks so much better than the rest of the show. And that's what this whole movie looks like. It's that level of animation. Part 2. Yeah, part 2. It looks... And
then part 3 appears to split the difference.
But characters look completely different. That's the fucked up part. It's not just that they upgraded the animation. It's that you have no idea who half the people are.
You might think you're watching the wrong thing for a little bit because you don't hear names right away. You just see things and you're sitting there going, wait a minute, who are these people? Yeah, exactly. Because the main character goes from looking like, as you said, a Ranma 1/2 character to looking like he's Don Johnson in Macross. It's crazy how much of a shift it is. Everybody.
The antagonist.
The villain has a facelift with a hair bleaching.
Yeah, he looks completely different.
Yes, he looks so different that they should have just written a line where that guy killed the original protagonist off screen and took over. It would have made more sense than to have somebody who appeared to de-age by about 15 years and had a complete physical transfiguration. It's lunacy. It's a similar change, except there was a different reason, for the Oracle in the Matrix, who is one woman and becomes a very different woman because the original woman died. But it's that type of thing where, oh, this is a different person, you would think. But no, in fact, like the Matrix, same character, but without even giving the flimsy attempt at explaining it away by saying, I had to transform myself. They could have said that I was in an explosion and they rebuilt my face, and it would have made more sense than what this character just suddenly is different. Anyway, the story itself, each of these parts is about an hour and a half. The last one's closer to 2 hours.
It's about an
so
hour
you're looking
40,
you're looking at roughly 5 hours total, give or take. And it is the story, each of the parts, and I say this, I think, in every single part of the commentary when you eventually hear it in 2056. In each of those parts, I say, this is the 3 acts of the movie, but each act is its own OVA. It's its own part. So part 1 is what is going on here. It is the central core mystery of the movie, where it starts off as young kids screwing around on bikes and becomes, global intergalactic conspiracy where the Earth is ruined and we're on a world ship out in space. Yeah, and then there's another world ship that's coming to get us.
And that shift is like so sudden. Like you're watching this movie and you're like, this is an 80s movie about biker gangs and the guy who wants to get with the girl and like, hanging out and it's so cool. And then
no bullshit. They go down the wrong tunnel on the highway.
Well,
that's when it changes.
Hold on. His friend steals an experimental motorcycle.
Right, but that could just be a government motorcycle. That could just be a high-tech motorcycle.
See, because my interpretation is that how there are these metal arms. If you go back and watch it, there's these metal arms that keep that road from being accessible.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. They go down for that motorcycle.
Oh yeah. No.
I think they go and they get to see that only because they're on that experimental motorcycle.
No, I agree. But what I'm saying is, up until the highway portion descends, it could have just been about a Knight Rider-esque piece of technology that the government was developing that they took. But once they go underneath the city, and there's a city on the roof upside down and a city underneath and a central computer, it goes from, oh, okay, I might have a grasp to what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
In a huge gulf. That's what I mean. It shifts massively.
And then on top of that, they're like, then it goes to like, oh, you should join us. And there's another ship like us. And we were all kicked off of Earth. And we've been off of Earth for 500 years. And there's another Earth ship. And they're going to attack us. And you should help us. And then meanwhile, back in the other movie, they're like, hey, we should use that cool bike you got and make a fun movie. Wouldn't that be cool? And he's like, yeah, we should make a movie. And then meanwhile, it's they're coming to kill us.
Well, and there is a point in that first movie, and you'll hear it if you watch it with the commentary, where Lando says, okay, something has to happen. And immediately something happens that ends the first part, which is this killing off of the character out of nowhere almost.
The sweetest, most positive character in the movie. Where like all of a sudden they're like, no one can know. Kill her. And it's like, no one can know, but you're about to basically like, it
is a wild first part. That's for sure. Because there's also a sex scene unlike any I've seen in anime.
Oh, yeah.
It is inexplicable.
He's doing this massive exposition dump while he's like having sex with
the only thing that makes sense with what we're seeing is that he's going down on her while talking or psychically transferring information, because you only see her writhing in ecstasy. He is nowhere to be seen. You just hear him talking. So it's either that or, as I said in the commentary, he's got her on the Sibian as he's basically got a teleprompter and he's reading the story. That's the only things that make sense for what we're seeing. It's the only things that make sense.
I gotta say, overall,
otherwise, no sense.
I don't. It's not that I don't like the movies. I don't like the people in a lot of these movies. I like more of the people in the third one, but I don't actually like the people. So Shogo, who's the main character of the first two movies, he is kind of he's kind of an amoral, passive asshole. Like, it's not that there's anything wrong with him, but he feels like a very passive character. He handles the girl, the female interest, in kind of a shitty way. Like, he's like borderline a shitty guy, right? And then the girl, the love interest, whose name is, what is her name? Is it
Yumi?
Yumi.
Yumi is the girl. Not
Yumi,
Eve, but Yumi. Eve is the idol, the virtual idol.
Yumi is borderline kind of a trashy girl. Like, at one point she goes to like sleep with the director because she wants a better job. And and the thing is, like, it's not like she was lured into the bedroom. She went in there, she took a shower, she was in a towel, like, and you can't tell if she's annoyed because he's being a little too aggressive.
Well, okay. No. Let's be specific, because that is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't consider her a trashy girl. She understood there was a path to where she wanted to go, and she was pursuing it. Yeah. It just turned out that the guy, the sexual rung on the ladder, was too rough.
Yeah.
And then Shogo bursts in his mech suit and trashes the place and steals her out. So, and she reasonably is pissed off because she's like, I'm trying to get a promotion, asshole.
But the thing is that they... So the characters are all kind of like they all borderline have shitty behavior. So for me, it's not there's two levels to watching these movies for me. And I realized, like, I thought about these movies a little bit since we watched them. Like, they've kind of dawned on me. And I realized that there was, I keep thinking of them in two levels. So character-wise, I don't like them. Like, I don't like the characters. I think they're funny, and I find a lot of amusement in the weirdness of the characters, right? But I don't like them. I'm amused by them without liking them. But then there's this whole other level of the movie where they're actually dealing with some really interesting concepts of, like, free will and, what would you have to do to keep people living on a ship, the level of lies that you would have to go to. I mean, there's a lot to these movies. I mean, we were watching it, you could kind of see all the references that people pull from it. Like, you can see where the Matrix got things from this movie. Don't even talk about, like, Macross. Macross outright stole concepts from this fucking movie. I mean, this is essentially the SDF-1, for those who know what that is, Macross Robotech.
Yep.
So, on that level, it's very enjoyable, and it's very engaging, and it's very fascinating, and it'll leave you thinking. But they do it with these characters that you're like, oh god, like, fucking Shogo. Okay, whatever. Like, and the second movie, it's almost kind of worse, where it's like, he's not heroic. He doesn't actually know how his suit works, so he gets his ass kicked a lot, and that's fascinating. But I don't necessarily like him. Does that make sense?
I do not disagree. I think that is, I hope, the point is this is a movie about very gray characters where they are not, there is no clear hero, no clear villain, because even the main villain, it then is revealed, well, wait a minute, he is trying to defend this entire world ship against a horrific enemy, even though he's a scumbag.
Yeah, and what you're getting into is there's two concepts here, which is there's the militaristic philosophy, and then there's the I don't know what Shogo's is, because Shogo's to some degree is trust in the system. Because the military guys are like, fuck the computer and fuck what it knows. We're going to fight these people even though we know they can beat us. Whereas
Shogo to me is a very typical, selfish, overly self-absorbed teenager. And he acts like one. He is a penis with legs. That's what he is. And the only reason he gets involved is they kill his friend in front of him, so he's pissed off and he takes the bike just to be a dick.
He is, yeah.
And then he's kind of wants to see Eve, I guess, nude. So he's like, well, I'll help you then. And he's kind of like, the Yumi thing is more possessive than it is really romantic, at least in the first movie. And you're right. He's like Kurt Russell as an arrogant teenager in Big Trouble in Little China. He is Jack Burton at 16. He's all just raw crotch rocket. And that's it. And it just so happens that he becomes, because he interfaces with the Garland, the Operator 7G, the bike, the super bike mech, he is the only person that they can rely on because Eve can talk to him through it. That's the only reason he's the quote-unquote hero. So he's a reluctant, and I don't even know if the word hero, he is the protagonist by default. That's it. And that's what I mean about there's no real good guys in this whole thing. Eve is the closest to somebody really trying to get them back to Earth and destroy Adam, which is the moon weapon. She's the only real positive as far as Eve seems to be the most noble of all the characters. That's it. Everybody else has their defects, which, yes, you're right. There's no clear person that you go, yay, heroes. No. Throughout, there really isn't until you get to the third movie. And then you get that shoots. What did we say? 500 years in the future.
Yeah,
whatever.
So the third,
in the future.
Yeah, the third movie is 500 years forward, and
yes.
and it's a different kind of movie, but the concept is still really similar. And honestly, so heavy, because what that movie's about is essentially how the people who are living in this city, which is still very controlled by this central consciousness, have decided that humans shouldn't have Earth, and that basically it's trying to keep them there so it can leave and take them all with it again. And then the people realize, oh shit, they're gonna take the whole city off and take us all back to space. We gotta get out of here. And then you've got the fight, which is basically from the central corporation that's working that the robot consciousness is controlling the city. And then you've got the alternate corporation that's like, no, we're staying. And you have I think there's better action sequences in the third one. The third one is probably, I'm coming to realize, my favorite of the three, just for all the kind of different shit that they did, and also like the kind of heavy concepts they were willing to play with, right? Which is, are the robots necessarily wrong for not wanting to leave humans there? And then the main villain turns out to be, one of the main villains turns out to be like a cryogenically mummified Shogo, where essentially he became the central consciousness of the machine, and he's the one that's decided that humans shouldn't be allowed to stay on Earth because they're fucking around.
Based on what he says, what seems to have happened is he became the human conduit for Adam, the moon defense system that's trying to rule things. It's basically almost erased his personality, because he says, I sort of remember being Shogo, like I have memories of it, but it seems like he is the central character in terms of there appears to be, it's never really specifically, at least, or I missed it, but there, at least based on the way the movies operate, there has to be a human organic interface for this system to work. And he becomes the one for Adam, and Adam starts trying to basically eject them back into space because he doesn't think they're worthy of being on Earth.
Yeah.
And Eve, who is virtual until the third movie, where then she gets a body just to then sacrifice herself, but that's what I mean, Eve's the pure one. She is virtual, trying to fight against Adam, and the military's fighting against, like everybody's kind of fucking with Eve. So it is all about Eve. And so yes, that's that. In the third one, there's this religious figure called Wandai, Bishop Wandai, and what you find out, you said it, you're like, okay, we're gonna find out this is Shogo, right? And I said, yeah, this is Shogo, and that's what it is. It ends up being Shogo in this very, very ancient form, who's been kept alive by the system, which is using him, and then they basically kill him off, and once Adam is destroyed, then humans finally can reclaim the Earth. But that was how the second one ended. The second one ends. The first one, let's just go through how they each end.
Go ahead.
The first one ends where Shogo has dedicated himself, even though you really don't know this, and if this had ended, it would have been very mystifying. He's fucked up, and the Garland has been destroyed, or at least partially wrecked, mostly wrecked.
The Garland,
and
by
he's just
the way,
walking.
Is the name of his special, of the mech.
The bike.
The motorcycle mechs, yeah.
Correct. So he's all messed up, and he's like walking back, and the thing just ends. And then the second one is basically the biker gang fighting against the cops, and ends with the last human beings alive, which appears to be the biker gang, landing on Earth in a life pod.
I think there's more than I think there's more that survive than that. But yes, it's
that's all you see. So I am sure that there had to be more people to repopulate the Earth. But that's the second one. The second one could have ended right there.
No,
where they land and the thing opens up and you see the sun.
The first one and the second one are basically one movie. So part 1 and part 2 are really one big movie.
Yes.
Right.
Part
3 is genuinely a sequel.
Right.
That is connected and deals with many of the same ideas, but it's got virtually a completely new cast. It's 500 years in the future, and has its own kind of ending. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's divisive among people. There are people who think it should have just ended with the second one. And honestly, the second one has a perfectly functional ending where you could then just imagine what goes on from there. So the third one, I would argue, is not necessary, but I like it. I like the third part because it shoots way into the future.
Yeah.
And we see, because the thing about the second one where people say, well, you could just end it there, is the one loose end is the moon, which is Adam, which is this countermeasure thing that destroys all the bad guys.
Is the moon Adam, or is Adam just the program that checks to see if humans
Adam
are
is
allowed?
the program, but it runs the moon, which is a defense system. So that's why I'm saying you would have still had... You still have the super moon up there with a lightning gun.
Yeah, and the thing is, essentially in the first movie, when the other ship, the second movie, when the other ship is like kicking the shit out of the main ship that we're on, right? They finally get close enough to Earth, and our ship has initiated a program to essentially kill everybody on the ship who shouldn't be on Earth. Like, that's my understanding. which is that to agree to Adam's rules, you basically have to kill off anyone who is considered bad, which is why the antagonist of the first two movies, which is the military guy who's trying to fight everything, he has to leave the ship or he will die. Right. Like, I wish they'd done something more with him, that there was like another city out there on Earth that was just like a rebel city of militaristic people. But the
I will also say, the second one has quite a bit of visual gore. So if you're in for that, you are going to see people get ripped the fuck up because it happens a lot, and it's great.
Do. But so the moon has become this like super weapon, and it destroys the other ship because the other ship has gotten too close without initiating the Atom program. So,
which I will admit, I'm very curious if that was the original plan, because it feels like. Because the other humans who are give the Zentradi, as you said, whatever, it's what they are. The other humans.
I grew up on Robotech. I love Macross. I love the SDF-1 and all that stuff. So when I'm watching this movie, one of the things I enjoyed the most of it was thinking of Macross and thinking of the SDF-1 That's the stuff that I like. So when I heard there was another ship attacking, I was like, oh, is it the Zentradi?
And we never see them. We never see those other people. We are told that they are the other world ship that launched. The only two left. And somehow they're 50 years ahead in technology. So they eviscerate the human fleet. And so it feels like they didn't know how to solve that. So they're like, okay, have the moon kill them. And the moon just wipes their entire thing out and just destroys the other world ship. Which I don't care, but it feels like, oh, well, if that was a solution, why didn't you take over Adam and just have him kill him? Because why waste all this time throwing all of your people at it when you could have just subjugated Adam instead of trying to hack Bahamut, which is the main computer, hack Adam.
They didn't know.
In any event,
actually, they don't know about Adam until Eve initiates it.
Yes.
So
I don't think Eve tries to counter him and then he comes online or something. I'm not really sure how that battle takes place. It doesn't really matter. But yes, that takes care of that whole other threat that there's been for a movie and 3/4. Gone. Now we're back to where we were. We're fine. Don't worry about that world ship. And then the third movie comes in and gives us a cyberpunk smorgasbord of every possible thing.
I mean, and that's
you will see more discs in this goddamn thing than in Tron. As far as you want to see people popping discs, this is if there is a philia for mini discs, the third movie is your movie. You will have a wonderful time with what you're going to see in there, especially with the sound effects.
I will admit that the third movie is more cyberpunk than almost just about any anime I have seen,
and very action packed. Like it is gunning the whole time. It's moving. There's a lot happening in that third one, especially compared to the first one. The second one has more of on-the-ground fighting. The third one just goes bananas, where it's virtual games, shooting. It's all over the place. The second one has a lot of that at the end with the space battle, but it's all compressed into there, whereas the third one starts off going at 3,000 miles an hour and just never stops until literally the last 5 minutes. And that's the only part where it slows down. Otherwise, it is boogieing the whole time, moving. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't like the characters, but I still enjoyed seeing the weird shit that they did, and the movies are just like quizzical at times. The sex sequences are just weird, and the 80s elements that they decided to lean into, like the makeup and the big hair, and I mean, it's just the look of it. Mm-hmm. It is a really fun ride. Despite not liking those characters, it's still a really fun ride.
Well, the first two parts have very unlikable characters. The third part is... The main guy in the third part is more likable. And as you said, he's at least doing things. He's initiating his actions. He's planning. So that makes him more interesting. And I agree. I think that of the three parts, the third one in total is the best. Because it has great pacing. The cyberpunkness is at 120 decibels, so it's wonderful. I tend to prefer the animation style of the first one more usually.
Whereas I like the second one the most.
Animation style.
Animation
But
style,
you would agree the third part is the best of the 3 parts.
I think the third is the best movie. I like the animation in the
Yes.
second one. And I probably laughed the most at the first one.
Yes.
Like, not
yes, the
at
first
it,
one,
but like with the weirdness of it, you know?
Well, it is played with a lighter tone until it isn't. Which makes it a little bit...
Until they gun the girl down. And you're like, oh my God, they shot her in the face.
They kill the friend. You see his body in a pool of blood.
Oh,
but it's
yeah,
kind of abrupt.
he gets crumpled, yeah.
But you don't know him, so you don't really care. You're just like, oh, okay, he's dead. Got it, because he's dead. But you don't know him. You meet him for 3 lines of dialogue, and he's gunned down. Doesn't matter.
He's like, hey, check out my bike. Oh, shit, the bad guys are here. Run! And that's it.
Right. Whereas the girl, you followed, and she's the lightest of all the characters, and so when she just gets wiped out, it is shocking, because of all the characters, she seems the least threatening. Because the one girl is the main girl who's with Shogo. The other girl is the daughter of a high-powered financier. So they would make more sense for the government to go to. But no, instead they go for the fan editor who just wants to shoot a dumb movie. And they just shoot her in the fucking head. I think it's
because she had my interpretation is this, because she had
oh, of course. No. Yeah. There's a reason. But we as the audience know she's harmless. Yeah, she literally could not give a fuck less about the underground city and all the rest of it. She just wants to make a cool movie.
No, she wanted the movie
because Shogo is the one who's like, whoa, what's going on? She's like, wow, underground city. Hey, I'm going to head back. I got some good footage. I'll talk to you later. And she just books it. Whereas he's sitting there going, wait a second. There's a goddamn central computer in an underground city.
What do I do? Should I help them? Should I not help them? Mama. And he just labors about it without actually doing much.
Yeah, and then the mech suit transforms and basically does his job for him, where he's like, what does this button do? And it happens to shoot the hole through something else that he needs to, and then the gun runs out of ammo, and he's like, oh, shit,
but
and he falls over into something.
But he gets the shit kicked out of him. That's the other thing, is that, Shogo is not suddenly amazing at what he's doing.
No.
He gets...
No, he's not the main character from Miami Golem. He can't do everything. No.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He is very fallible, and a dope, and completely riddled with hormones. So yeah, that's what I mean about as a teenager, he works very, very logically to me. This is what a young person who only cares about themselves and what's going on south of their belt is going to be concerned with, and everything else is just who cares, or whatever gets me back to Yumi or Eve. I'll take either one. That's his whole goal. Then you get to the third one, and it's more of, oh, okay, I'm actually working towards something. There's a point here. And that's the thing about the third one, is it can't really work without the first 2, but it will make the first 2 seem like it's filled with characters outside of Eve who are really either very morally gray or dopes. Except for Cyndi Lauper, who is well represented.
Oh, man.
Whoever made this thing loves Cyndi Lauper.
In the second one, there's a girl whose name is Cindy, and
Cindy,
just like Cyndi Lauper. And she's even I haven't heard the dub, but you said the dub has a
oh god, where she's like, Shogo, what's going on? Yeah, it's great. It's really over the top. Yes.
That's amusing. There you go.
But man, it's entertaining. It's very different. It does feel like it's foundational to a lot of things that came later, either in whole or in part. It literally did become Robotech the movie, partially. They chopped up bits of this into Robotech the movie, or Super Dimensional Cavalry, whatever. It's got like 8 names, but most people would know Robotech the movie. And so for that reason, and I do like its scope. Like, it is a wild thing to go through in 3 parts. It covers a lot of ground in 3 episodes or 3 movies. It reminded me of like Cloud Atlas, where it's like, oh, now we're going to jump to a different time where it's kind of the same characters, but they're doing different things, but it's the same conflict. It has a lot of that going for it. And the 3 different animation styles is a really, really bizarre decision. I don't think it was intentional. It was necessity more than anything, because the team shifted around. But that's also something remarkable, where to see how different each of the styles, and in particular 1 to 2. 1 to 2 is holy shit type stuff. It's just amazing. But I liked it a lot. And it's free on Tubi. You can watch the whole thing dubbed.
I didn't know who characters were. That's how much of a visual shift it was.
It was not an exaggeration to say that you might think you're watching the wrong movie.
Yeah.
Or that it was doing a time jump like the third one was. But in fact, no, it's taking place what seems like, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks after the first one, a month. Not long. It's the same thing.
And you have no idea. Yeah.
Yeah. But it certainly wasn't a long time. Except that one of the main villains had morphed into a different person. It shed his outer skin and become a different person.
I know. But I'm going to add an extra dimension to this, too. If you are a fan of cinema, if you are somebody who likes movies and you are a fan of cinematic history, I do think that this series is important to cinematic history because there are a lot of concepts these people played with that then went on to become other movies. I mean, the Wachowskis have basically said that this was something that inspired them. These people inspired Robotech, Macross. Macross went on to inspire a whole bunch of other people. I mean, this is the seed of a lot of stuff that comes down the line. You know, so it's worth seeing for the if you're into cinema, it's worth seeing for the historical element of it. Plus, if you like anime, it's worth seeing there as well.
Yeah. If you're into Cyberpunk, that third episode is going to blow your mind.
Oh, God, the discs.
It's a lot. Yeah.
These discs.
So, yeah, and like I said, it's free. It's on Tubi, so you can watch each of the parts is on there separately. That's the other nice part is you don't have to watch it all in one shot. So it's nicely divided up. The first two are the ones that you would want to watch closer together. Then you could let a little time
They're basically
pass.
One movie, yeah.
They are. But you can definitely take a break and be like, okay, next chapter begins, and then you go to the second one. But they're all there free. That anybody can watch without an account. Just have some ads. And each of them is about 90 minutes. The last part is a little bit longer, but it moves faster, so you really won't feel it. It does not feel like an hour 41 or 2, whatever it is. It moves very quickly. And the other two, I think, are both about 90 minutes. So, again, not a huge investment of time. And it does span the other side of the tonal shifts is if you'd like to see a range of animation styles, you will.
Oh, yeah.
You will see a range of goddamn animation styles, let me tell you.
And that is,
So you can decide what you like.
Yeah, and I always loved Thundercats, so maybe that's what it is.
Oh, sure. There's references all throughout this thing. They're more overt in the...
Wait, in the second one, or is it the first one? What was the one where they have Luc Besson's name in the computer?
I think that was the second one.
The second one, yeah. There's a name of pilots or something like that, and in there it says Luc Besson and Eric Serra. And I know them because Luc Besson, directed Fifth Element and a lot of other movies, and Eric Serra did a bunch of the soundtracks for him. So it was a weird reference.
Well, there's multiple references. The old man from Domu is in a cab. It is absolutely him. I verified it. I saw the screenshot. So that's for anybody who's a Katsuhiro Otomo fan, which I have made very clear I am for a long time. And it's referencing Domu, not Akira. Akira, don't get me wrong, is referenced specifically in the third movie where the bike looks...
Akira is all over the place in these, okay?
It is, but a Domu reference is a little more niche because many people probably, The
number of Tetsuo references that we had in the first movie alone.
Well, and the one character by the end of the third one looks like Tetsuo. He looks like him with the short hair. Yeah. They basically made him look like Tetsuo before his hair gets really long and crazy. So, yeah, but the Domu character, I saw that. It's quick, but it's definitely him with the hat and everything. Lupin is in there. There's several Lupins as cops.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Which you saw, I saw, and they reappear. So there are little references. And I also do have to go through, because there's lots of stuff I think we missed, where there's lots of text on the screen. And there's shit all over the place. So... that's a nice little thing, too, if you are an anime fan or, manga fan and you want to see. There's lots of little kind of Easter eggs sprinkled throughout. So that's also a nice thing. But overall, I would highly recommend it. I think I reviewed this when I watched it a while ago. I don't know for sure. I want to say I did talk about it. Let's see. Did I review Megazone 23? Yes, I did. Back in 2013. So 13 years ago. God. It was a while ago. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, May 9th, 2013. So it's been that long since I've watched it straight through.
Another thing is I think I vaguely remember that you did review it.
Yeah, it was a while ago, though, so it's very possible people listening now never heard that. And don't go back and listen to it. I'm sure it's not good. And I only apparently did a 5 on it. I don't think we talked about it on the show much, because it's not even the show notes for any of the main shows, so I may have mentioned it. But yeah, the nice part is it's a good... At that time, I think I watched a crappy VHS rip of it. They had not put out the new versions of it yet. Now on Tubi, it's in high def. I've got the Blu-ray that they kickstarted for it. So you can see it very easily in good quality with the... I think they did like they did with Akira. They did a new dub, a streamlined dub. Streamline did a new dub for it, which is more accurate. Still has some silly voices, don't get me wrong, but I believe it is more faithful to what the actual original Japanese is saying. It does not, unfortunately, have the line about you stink like overripened soybean pods or whatever he says at one point. That did not make the English side. He just says, not so sticky or something like that. But that one criticism aside, the dubbing was fine. So yeah, that's all we watched, because that was 3 parts, and that was our 3 quote-unquote movies for the week. So that is all we have to review. But it is anime fans or people like you said who are interested in seeing where the seeds of this may have influenced others. There's a lot of that in there. So I think because you can watch it for free, which is always good, because we
were just talking about the cost of movies,
and it's in a very good version, so it's a good quality, which at one point it wasn't. It was kind of, I don't want to say it was forgotten about, but nobody had gone back and really released a new edition of it. So you either paid $300 for a, I don't know, Dutch version of it that you had to read bad subtitles for, or you had nothing except old VHS rips when I think it was in, probably, what was that company that did all the manga stuff for a while with the flaming logo? What were they called?
Was it IDW?
Oh, God, we saw it so many times. Anyway, I remember they had the Akira. Oh, my God.
Oh, you know what? But I do have something to close on before we go.
Sure. Yeah.
Did you see that they're doing another Ghost in the Shell series?
I did. I saw that.
It
looks good.
I saw the animation and I was like, hey, you know what? I was like, I kind of like this. I was like, is this going to be another...
It looks nice.
Is this going to be a proper standalone complex? Because she doesn't seem young. This seems to be like...
she looks like the movie.
Yeah.
And it's coming out this year, so we will watch it.
Yeah,
I'm trying to see...
Interested to see what they do with it. There doesn't seem to be a shtick with it. It seems to be like they're just doing straight Ghost in the Shell universe.
No.
She's not young. She's not... Yeah.
Okay. So Production IG is involved, along with Bandai Namco Filmworks, which makes me wonder if there's going to be a tie-in game, because Bandai Namco usually has tie-in games. Kodansha, I don't know how I'm supposed to pronounce that, is also involved, which is a long-running... I mean, they forever. So yeah, it looks good to me. We'll know when it comes out. I like the look, like you said though. I like the fact that it looks. Yeah, it looks good. It looks Does it say
Bateau looks right?
Yeah, man, he looks good. Yeah, he looks good. I mean, they're never gonna beat the look of Innocence, but he looks good.
No, but Innocence also. I mean, that movie was just eye-searing.
That's a polarizing one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who think it's utterly boring. I was like, okay, well, I don't know what I'm going to tell you about that.
You know what?
Yes, everything about it looks good.
All the movies, all the Ghost in the Shell I have seen, of all of them, right? Yeah. The most beautiful sequence in any of those movies is when they are in that city with the parade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that music. And I think that is probably one of the most gorgeous sequences I have seen in any of the Ghost in the Shell properties. Yeah. So
the only question I have about this one, does it have a listing on the... Is Bateau voiced by the same guy?
Oh, man. No, you know what? I wonder if they haven't even gotten that far. But if it's coming out this year, then yeah,
they've got it. Well, okay, I should say they may not have, though, because they may only have the Japanese with subtitles. Yeah. They may have not done the English dub yet. So it's possible they don't have that. I can't find anything on voices, so it's very difficult to say. Yeah, I don't. There's nothing that references who's doing any of the voices, so I don't know. Here's the official website, but it's in Japanese. I can't read this shit.
Well, Google Translate, dude.
Oh, no, actually, you know what? It does have some English. Introduction gallery. Does it have... I mean, the artwork sure looks like the stuff I'm used to. Looks very much Shiro's kind of, hey. But I don't see anything that indicates voices. So, I mean, we'll find out in 4 months.
I'm going to click on the actor and see his IMDb.
Oh, good.
Because, I mean, that would probably be...
Mm-hmm.
Because his name
Wait,
is Richard. His name is Richard Epcar.
Yeah, that's it. That's him.
So I'm going.
Oh yeah, you're right. It'll have his
upcoming.
thing. Right.
It is not in his upcoming. So
But that doesn't mean they won't dub it with him. So I'm going to guess it's going to come out in Japanese first. I hope that they get. I mean, whatever. It wouldn't not make me watch it, but you're just not going to be able to separate Bateau from that guy's voice for me.
Well, I mean, unless they try to approximate it.
Yeah, you could, but there's certain... Listen, I picked that guy's voice up when he's voicing other people in an instant.
What were we watching where you picked him out?
I don't remember, but I heard one thing he said. I'm like, that's him. And sure enough, it was. But yeah, it was... actually, you know what? I believe... Hold on. Richard Epcar, right? This was the weirdest thing. He was, unless I'm wrong, he was in a fucking 90210 episode my wife was watching.
Oh, I think you remember telling me about that.
Yeah, and I immediately, I went, hold on. And sure enough, he's a pretty big guy. So, where's TV? Film. Let's film though. Hold on. Where is his IMDb? Oh my God, his IMDb is loaded. Jesus.
Yeah, he's done a lot of shit.
Yes, no kidding. I know he's done a lot of stuff. Here it is. Let's take a look. That would have been in the 90s. Let's take a look here. Jesus Christ, I gotta scroll a long fucking way. All right. This would have been... Okay. Yep, there he is. Officer number 1. Yep. I mean, it's the weirdest thing because it's only the one episode in literally a maybe 10-second scene. And I just happened to be walking to the bathroom when she's washing. I'm like, whoa. And my head just whipped around. I'm like, that's fucking Bateau. And he's just a cop. He's just a random cop in it. Yeah.
Oh, my God. You know how I just told you that I watched Memoirs of an Invisible Man the other day?
Yeah, I see a picture of him, and the picture just popped up with him.
He's one of Sam Neill's henchmen in that movie.
Yep, I see him with the little headset on. That image just came up.
That's so weird.
Unreal, right?
Oh, God, he was
and he is Raiden's voice in Mortal Kombat 11. I remember that. But that was the most random thing for me to be walking through at the right time where he talks. He's like 2 lines. And I immediately went, I know who that is. Yep. Crazy.
Well, there you go.
Yes, and that's what I mean about, you can try to do his voice, but I'm going to be able to hear the difference. If I can spot that fucker from a 1 second cop roll, a nothing roll, then you better believe I'll know if it's him or not. He was on Who's the Boss? Matlock. I mean, Jesus, look at this stuff. Crazy. Yeah, there it is. Memoirs right after 90210. That's funny. Super Cop 2, he does a voice. Street Fighter 2, 5. Interesting. Macro, of course, he's Goa Bowman. That's how I knew they dropped him for the last segment of that.
He's Goa Bowman.
But then they swap him out. He disappears. So they must not have had him for the last segment where he's going out, he's not there. It's a different person. So that's what I mean about you can try, but I'm going to know the difference. Those sounds could be imitated. I know the difference.
I look forward.
Yes, I bet you would.
I look forward to them doing the...
No, listen, I want more goddamn Ghost in the Shell. I always like that. So I hope it's good. There really hasn't been any of it I hated. I just didn't like the short hair one that they did where they were younger.
I wasn't a fan of the Arise series.
That was the weakest one, but I mean, it wasn't.
But listen,
it wasn't
all of Standalone Complex was good. And I love Solid State Society, Standalone Complex.
I like them. Yeah, I like all of them.
Yeah. So,
what I'm saying is, I mean, Arise was certainly, I would rank it the lowest so far, but it wasn't unwatchable. It just
wasn't. It wasn't made for us.
Yeah, and that's okay. It's okay. Not everything has to be made for us. This looks like maybe it is. So, good. I don't mind when things are made for me, but they don't all have to be. And I'm sorry, this is very late, but whatever.
200 hours later.
Oh yeah, look at that. We did. We passed it.
Plus 18.
Yeah,
but
plus 18.
That's okay.
It's like
plus
D-Day,
18.
World War II, when everything was D+1, D+2.
D+1, D+, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is 2 plus 18.
We're TON plus 18. Yeah.
Right,
on that note, so Megazone is free. Wrecking Crew is on Amazon, so free if you have that. Is it available to get if you don't have Amazon? Do they rent out? I guess they do.
I don't know. I just saw it on Amazon.
You know what? Let's see so the folks can know how much they'd have to spend if they don't have Amazon. Not everybody does.
Oh, if you don't have
so
Prime.
Is it? It is available. Nope. Well, okay, wait a minute. Sorry. I can't go by IMDb anymore because they're owned by Amazon. So they lie now about what's there. Okay, so it is on Apple TV. Well, it's not really free. You'd have to do a free trial. So you could do a free trial. But yes, it is also available. This is what I don't like about IMDb now. You can't rely on it because it's all, So I guess if you like these guys enough, you could always, whatever, you can do a free trial. But it is available on other platforms. So IMDb is a liar. Because it makes it seem like it's only on Amazon. Bullshit. No, it's not. And otherwise, it's on Amazon for whatever you're paying for Amazon. Because there are now 2 tiers. So whether you're paying for the ads or not, it is there. And Megazone is on Tubi for free, even if you don't have an account, which I will always celebrate about Tubi. They don't give a fuck about who you are. As long as you're willing to watch the ads, you can be anybody, and they don't care about anything. So I don't know if that'll last forever, but I will highlight it as a plus for them as long as I can, as long as it is highlightable. On that note, holy shit, a show less than 3 hours. What do you know? So I'm going to shut up and say whatever you do with your weekend, have a good time doing it, and we'll talk to you again next week. Visit OzoneNightmare.com to subscribe to new episodes, browse through our back catalog, or to find links to support the show. Follow @OzoneNightmare on Twitter for the latest episode postings and other show information. If 280 characters just isn't enough, you can always email us, theozonenightmare@gmail.com. The opening theme for the show is provided by Heartbeat Hero. The closing theme is provided by Ogre. Please visit and support these artists using the links in the show notes for each episode.